What's up, everybody? It's Nice Guy Podcast, and you know what we do. It's Wednesday night, and we do talk to wrestlers. We watch wrestling, we talk to wrestlers, and I got Superfly Johnny Lee over here next to me.
What's up, what's up?
And I got in the house special guest JR ROC.
Yo.
And Cody Mathews.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Guys, y'all go ahead and take over. I'm going to share the podcast on the Facebook. Sorry, guys, we got a little late. We had some technical difficulties. I didn't know that the parking lot was going to be repaved today, and then the damn computer wanted to update. So
Yes, it did.
The truth is, the Iron Man is intimidated and we got a little nervous.
Yeah, they got just a little nervous, but they've kind of settled in, and we walked in the door and stuff started just happening as usual. Just like when we're on most of these indie shows, you all think they start late because of technical difficulties. It's just because we walk in and people get scared. And it's
Right, they forget what they're doing. And lucky I didn't bring the
Exactly.
strap.
Y'all,
I mean, the strap is your it's your go-to right there.
y'all scared the computer.
Probably
I mean-
it wouldn't be the first time.
It scared the tablet too, because the tablet doesn't want to work.
it's because JR's sitting so close to it. Just so you know.
Pull the mic closer to you.
It's intimidated.
There you go.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because normally it'd be working
Oh
just
yeah,
fine.
that tablet gets scared of people, I think.
So I'm going to have to do it this way. Get on my phone to read comments.
Well, it's good to be back on the show, guys. Thanks for having me down.
Well, thanks for having you in.
John's here, just not on camera.
Yeah, Sean Johns is here too.
He'll be on camera here soon.
He's going to
too.
be watching our back and correct any mistakes we have.
Eric Montgomery chimed in with the first comment. He said, hide your girlfriends, wives, hot aunts, cousins. Iron Man Cody Mathews is in the house. Hide your, he said
That's a
twice.
shame. That's a
Guys,
shame.
anybody out there that wants to support the podcast, you can go over to the podcast page and subscribe to us for $5 a month, and you get behind-the-scene footage, and it helps the podcast out big time. We're trying to get at least 100 to 200 subscribers so that we can continue to do the podcast and give you guys more. So go over to any likes, shares, send stars, help out the podcast because we do have to pay bills around here, and any support is great because I do come out of my pocket a lot and with this, and Facebook does pay us a little bit but doesn't pay all the bills. So guys, if y'all can show y'all support by sending stars, maybe subscribing, it's only $5 a month. It's less than a pack of smokes, I guess now. So
That's right.
but we appreciate you guys.
Do you have a Patreon page?
Yes, we do.
We
actually.
do, but we haven't really posted much there yet.
Yeah, guys, go over. These guys do a phenomenal job of helping out everybody, everybody, wrestler-wise, show-wise. So it's $5. We all spend more than that on Red Bull and beef jerky every day, or I do anyway. So go over there, throw a little cash at them. Eric Montgomery, thank you, by the way. It was just your aunt. She was such a lovely lady, though.
He said that's cheaper than a date.
You guys
About
want to
the
get some content for your Patreon? We'll have to get some behind-the-scenes locker room stuff for
Yeah.
subscribers.
Hell
Double
yeah.
bonus
If y'all want
information.
to,
Yeah,
anything y'all want to
absolutely.
do, just send us. And then even I know you're going to be retiring soon, but still come in and do the podcast with us and stuff.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that'd be great.
you still got your stories and stuff. Your story doesn't end when you retire. It just it just turns into something different.
That'd be
plus you
fun.
got all that all knowledge right here.
I used to actually host a radio show when I was in college.
Nice.
A bunch of guys do like a 3-hour radio show, so I've got a little hosting.
Yeah, I used to.
experience.
I did like back when I was in college before I did any other thing. I work at UPS now, and but I've been there 20 years. But before that, I was in broadcasting school, and we used to do me and my friend Jacob Bennis, which is he's a movie producer right now. He makes his own horror movies.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And me and him did a public access show, and so I gave it up like years ago just to get me a real job that because I had kids and I had to pay bills and stuff, and then I started doing just a few years ago I started doing this, and it's like continue of a dream that I had back in the day, so.
Yeah, I did the Morehead State University Public Radio for a couple of years.
Oh, really? That's
And, that's what my bachelor's and master's degree is actually in, is electronic production with a video emphasis.
Nice.
Really?
So I've done a lot of video production for some wrestling companies over the years.
Well, that's cool. Anytime you want to come over here and help, you can come and help the podcast. You know.
Speaking of which, we got Chucky Smooth.
What's up, Chucky?
What's going on, Chuck?
Hello, Chuck.
You wrestled? Yeah, you guys wrestled Chucky?
I have
Many
a
times.
couple of times, yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
Mr. Smooth.
Chucky's awesome. I used to love go over to KCW and watch him. He was the champ over there. Like he was so smooth, man. And him and his one of them had a cousin, Hollywood, Johnny Hollywood. Johnny Hollywood. I wonder what happened
Johnny
to him.
Hollywood's my boy, man.
Yeah. He was cool, man. He was getting over. He was getting some catching heat over there.
Yeah.
Man, and I watched Chuck come up when we were over in Mount Sterling, and Chucky really naturally took to the business. He got in great shape. Always fun to be in the ring with him, and just can't send out enough shout out to Chucky Smooth, and we appreciate you tuning in to listen to us tonight too, Chuck.
We had
Chucky said, 2 great wrestlers. You can he said 2 great wrestlers. There much respect to both those guys because both of them are 2 great guys.
Thanks, Chuck.
Hey,
Appreciate
thank you,
that.
Chuck. Yeah.
Was that hard to say, Johnny?
I think his
got confused because I have to.
Yeah.
No, I
He's
got
usually
confused 'cause-
he's used to
'cause we-
reading it on
we ain't
that.
got the tablet because the tablet decided to be
It's
scared
scared
today.
to work today.
Let me see the tab. Let me see if I can make it work.
It should be able to sign back in.
So as JR has decided to leave the in-ring part of the business this year, I think he should tell us about where he started, how he started, who he started with.
Yep.
I know y'all have had JR on before, but as many car rides as we've had, I've heard a lot of it too. But maybe some stories that we haven't heard JR
Yeah.
about the beginning. Or
Yeah, I can tell you the beginning. I got my start, like probably most people, as a backyard wrestler at my house, and I competed against another neighboring backyard wrestling thing in my hometown. One of the guys that I wrestled with, his mom worked with gentleman Jim Chadwick. I guess she was always talking to him, telling him, all the boys are wrestling and this and that, and Jim finally said, well, you send them down to see me in Mount Sterling, I'll introduce them to Danny Fargo. So we went down there. It was December of 99, January of 2000. Met Jim for the first time, met Danny Fargo. Danny talked to us after the show and said, if you want to try out, come back next week, be here at this time, bring your money, and I'll give you an in-ring tryout and see if you like it. So I went back, and one of the guys that went with, there's 3 of us that went down there. One guy came, the other guy decided not to. So we paid a down payment, started training. The first guy lasted about 2 or 3 weeks, and he dropped out. Then the other guy that came decided he was going to jump in since the other guy quit. And after that, that's all she wrote. 23 years later, here I am. The one guy that trained with me, he wrestled about 8 years on and off, and he finally retired. And I'm still going strong. Is proud to say the last active trainee of Danny Fargo.
You know what's weird is that my family used to put up rings for Danny Fargo.
really,
Yeah, and I never knew that till years later.
man, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. One of my uncles put up the rings for ICW when they did like the Frankfurt, Lexington, Louisville loops. And he talked about all those guys and knowing that a company like ICW started around here, and then the USWA used to come here. But as we were talking about before we went on air, people don't realize how big of a hotbed that Kentucky's always been for wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
People like to talk about these other places, man, but as far yes, USWA ran Memphis for 40 years at the Coliseum, but they're also ran Lexington for 20 plus, Louisville, and then that's actually what got me started was watching. My grandfather used to take me to all this stuff, and that's where my love of it came from, and knowing, especially since somebody came up to me and said it the other day, is I've been watching you and JR and the Greens, and now that's what made me decide to get into the business, and that's pretty cool now that we're getting older and getting out of it, that these guys that watched us like we watched, and started and mimicked all the guys that we saw. It's pretty cool, really.
It would be cool. We actually went down and helped New South put up and tear down their ring.
Did you really?
Yep.
Very cool.
Is at Wilmore, Kentucky. And then me and Sean and Chris Blaze all went and set up the ring for New South at the new arena. Because there was a bunch that was telling them that they'd go, but it ended up being me, Sean, Chris Blaze.
We had like 5 people.
The referee Dave Harmon, Anthony Presley, and Anthony Presley's other guy. And that was all that helped set up the ring.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. You always have a lot of people that say they're coming.
Yep.
I mean, Sean's helped put up rings in lots of different places that I've been. Lots. Sean's been there and helped and set up chairs, set up rings.
Paying the dues, baby.
That's right.
Passed out
That's right.
flyers.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I don't understand why some of these new ones find it hard to actually stay to set up and tear down the ring
I fixed it.
or to pay their
Hey.
dues.
That's why they keep me around here, because I know how to fix shit.
Or,
I'm not very entertaining, but I can fix the
Actually,
equipment.
you know how to sign into your password. That's not fixing something. That's getting inside. Something that you. Oh,
For some reason, it kicked us off with the Wi-Fi to put the.
Oh,
I had to
the
get back on the
Wi-Fi's kicked
Wi-Fi and everything. No, it's back. The Wi-Fi's on, but it was just off on that.
Chris
it
Blake.
got scared.
I see a comment out here that said, when I hit you with that strap, you'll be scared for your life. You are correct. That scares everybody for their life.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's a big ass strap. Where'd you get that thing? That thing probably cost you what, $300 or $400?
Yeah, I had that custom made at a tack shop
Yeah.
down in Texas.
That some bitch is
Nice.
huge.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big piece of leather.
It's 12 inches long, 3 inches wide, inch thick.
Wow, that cost you a pretty penny, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it was expensive.
And many
Yeah.
wrestlers have felt that pain.
See,
Yeah.
people don't understand how what you guys go through. You probably don't get really paid much, but you got to get all your equipment, and you got to get your props, and then you got to get to the damn shows and
Sacrifices are made.
sacrificing. I know my wife gets on my ass about the podcast, and I don't really do it, but 2 days a week. She's like, "You're always going to the podcast," and I guess she's got a point, but y'all get that same shit, don't you?
Depends on if they go with you or not. Sometimes the family gets tired of you being gone all the time.
Yeah,
Not all the time.
yeah.
Along with my young and stupidity, this business is probably one of the main factors of why me and my wife got divorced, because it was gone all the time, and temptations on the road are awful.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, and just young and stupid, and we're great friends now, and we have 2 great children that are grown into wonderful young adults now. But absolutely, it's hard, man. You're gone for.
I'm sure everybody makes their mistakes, and everybody gets tempted by some get tempted by drugs, women, everything. So I'm sure that's part of the road.
Yeah, you definitely have to have the right support system at home. Like my wife and little girl,
Yeah.
Jen and Luna, they both love wrestling, want to go to all the shows, so they're real supportive.
Yeah, I haven't met your wife, but you the last time we was down there at EWA, your wife was there, and y'all set up a little booth with the kids, and your little girl was running around, and that was real cool. I was like, that's awesome, man. That he just it makes it a whole family thing, Yeah, I invite my family and everything over here, but they my boys. Both of my boys, like I got a 22-year-old and a 12-year-old, and I involved them in the podcast in the beginning, and then they just kind of lost interest in it, And I tell them I got a big following. I got people that watch it, and they don't give a shit, they don't care.
Yeah, having them there is a lot better than back in the old days. You drive a lot of lonely roads and long nights.
I'm sure,
Lots and lots. But man, some of the best stories and times can be in the car too. Especially when you get to ride with guys like we did, man. Just, you're in the car with the Greens, you're in there with Vic the Bruiser and Al Steele and Bear and Brian Logan, another great one. Always had great stories and made sure the guy, and then Tracy, God rest Tracy's soul. He was one of the best guys to ever have in a car.
I hear
with
that
you.
so much. I wish he was around to come on the
Me
show
too.
because
he was a legend.
his name comes up on this show every time, every
As it
every
rightfully
episode.
should.
It's because he was good to all of us guys.
Yeah.
Man. He was one of those guys that always gave back to the business. He was never bitter. He was never, he would just, you'd be on a show with Tracy, and he would make sure he watched your match, whether you ask him to or not. He would come over and talk to you, give advice, but then also just telling jokes and or you know mad about something or venting. But he was always just one of those guys. He always gave back, man. Never, like I said, never ever bitter, never ever like some of the guys. And
We got to meet his daughter down there at UCW.
Super Show.
What's her name? Jessie.
Jesse Bell.
Jessie Bell. Yeah, she's a sweetheart, man. She was so nice to us. She came over and started just jumping in on the show and
And
stuff.
she was proud of her daddy's name.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dale Bass is a good road partner. He's got tons of stories. Jim Chadwick was a great to ride the
Oh,
shows
man.
with.
Jeez.
Phenomenal stories.
Yeah, well, I wish Chadwick was still around. We could,
Yep.
Oh, he would. Yeah.
he would love this, I'm sure.
Oh,
He-
my
He's
He-
inspired
he
my
would be-
look.
Yeah, he would be your special guest host every week.
yeah.
Yeah,
That would
he
be
would
awesome.
probably even be here sometimes.
I'd love to get
when you weren't
man.
here.
Could you imagine having Bobby Blade and him sitting here in the
Oh,
studio
no
talking?
way.
Like, you know,
That'd be great.
They'd probably go longer than Scott and Bobby.
Yeah.
About
Oh,
6
yeah.
hours,
Oh, yeah.
13 minutes.
Yeah, we see you watching, Bobby.
Yeah.
You love us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said, I hate that strap.
check out Bobby Blade's YouTube channel, guys.
Yeah,
Go over
got
there
all
and
kinds of good
subscribe.
footage on there.
It's
He's
got a
got-
lot of classic Kentucky wrestling.
Sure does.
Yeah, he's the man, man. He wasn't doing much of anything until he came on the podcast, and then like he got back into doing it. Now he's back out on the road doing stuff.
That's right.
He's like 50 and what is it, 50 and
50 and Fat Tour.
50 and Fat
too.
Tour, and he's only doing like he said. What he had like 3 spots
Yep.
he was going to. I think it 3 spots turned into 10 now.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
he'll be back full time soon.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm gonna
Yeah,
give him
we're
that,
all hoping.
I want to give him that Simba outfit one last time.
Oh, that would
Oh,
be
that'd
great,
be
wouldn't it? When he came in, the first time he came in, I did the thumbnail and I put him in the Simba outfit. He loves it. He's such a good sport about all that stuff, man. He's just such a good guy about all that, and he tells the greatest stories. And
Hey, Bobby, you and Terry Allen against Iron Madness one last time.
One
buddy.
last time.
oh,
That'd
you
be
want
great.
him back in the
Yeah,
ring.
absolutely.
Yeah, you get Terry to unretire, baby.
I don't know if he's gonna get back in the ring, but he's definitely gonna be like out there like managing
Oh.
and
He said
commentating.
the Simba gear doesn't even come close to fitting anymore.
We gotta get you some new Simba gear,
Yeah, someone needs to make him some good Simba gear.
fat Simba,
Yeah, there you go, full grown.
fat and 50 and
50 and Fat.
Simba fat and 50.
Someone needs to get a Mufasa costume and come out with him.
Oh,
Simba.
and the other day,
What was he thinking?
he
What was you
had the-
thinking, Bobby, when you was like Simba? What?
Hey, in Bobby's defense, back in the day, you didn't get to decide what your gimmick
No,
was.
sir.
You,
No.
you did
Oh,
what
is that
the
right?
promoter
That's
said.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's true.
All these young guys coming in today, well, this is my
No,
brand,
it was
this
not
and
like that.
You came in, they told you, said, this is who you are, this is what you're doing. You
Yeah.
didn't get no choice.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't really understand that. I guess
Yeah, back then, promoters be like, I want you to work this way. You're going to go out there. This is how I want you to look.
Yep.
Now go back there.
Really,
Yeah,
they're spoiled rotten now, aren't they?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
for
my
sure.
God.
So did you get any silly ass gimmicks when you first got in?
No, I got lucky. The guy that I trained with got the knockoff genius gimmick. He was the graduate.
Uh-huh.
And he had carried a little book of knowledge around because he didn't have any idea. He's like, well, I don't have a name. I don't know what to do. So Danny's like, well, this is who you're going to be and this is what you're going to do. And when Danny asked me, I said, I got a name picked out. And he's like, okay, that sounds good. Now figure
So
out what you're going to do.
Have you always been J.R. Rock?
I have.
Okay. And what was the whole like when you was back a kid and you first started like J.R. Rock? Got J.R. Rock. Who was J.R. Rock back then and who is J.R. Rock now?
Back when I first started in the backyard, J.R. Rock was a generic Raven knockoff because I was watching a lot of Raven.
Yeah.
And then now he's more of a wild Bruiser Brody with a little bit of flash from Randy Savage color mixed in there.
Yeah,
Wild
yeah,
man.
yeah. You got a lot. You dress really cool. I love the way you dress when you come in with the Hawaiian shirts on and stuff. I love that.
Speaking of which, we got Donnie Green watching.
Hey, what's up,
All
Donnie?
right,
He
Donnie.
said exactly what you said. He didn't get to pick your gimmick.
That's right.
That's right.
How about you, Cody? How about when you first started out?
Yeah. When I first started, I was actually put under a mask as the Hard Knock Kid. A guy named Bart came up with it. He worked for Joe Bailey. And the way that it came about, when I first started, I was a referee. And back then, the promoters wanted to keep payroll really low. So I would referee the first 5 matches and then get thrown in this generic, super generic, like Villano mask and the gear that they had made, and then I would be in the main events, against like Bull Payne and Todd Morton always took good care of me, and Bill, and just so yeah, I was the Hard Knock Kid for the first 2 years of.
And then so you was the Hard Knock Kid had a mask.
Yeah, he had it was a Villano mask,
And
one of the Villano and I would referee the first 5 matches and then
okay.
run back, get in all this stuff, and then come out and wrestle usually in the main or the semi-main, and put just basically just job matches.
Yeah, just jobbing.
Just to keep the payroll down on all those shows.
Yeah, and getting your reps in and learning some stuff.
So
where does Cody Mathews come in?
So that was just actually my one of my son's friends actually came up with that. It's some type of like I'm not 100% sure it came from a game or something, and then the Iron Man came in from Chris Hayes at the MWA one night when there was a deal where I was one of the only guys that showed up that night. We all had to wrestle a bunch of times in a row, and so Chris Hayes is who came up with the Iron Man, and then one of my son's friends is who came up with the Cody Mathews.
So the Iron Man, like you're known just to get out there and just wrestle your ass off.
Wrestle my
Damn
ass
straight.
off. And then when I got to doing, I did a series of matches with Rob Conway all over the place. The Iron Man versus Iron Man matches. We got to do like 6 of those all over, and hoping to get one more in before.
Really?
Both, yeah.
So it's like y'all have the Iron, like so both of y'all are the Iron Man, and whoever wins gets to be the Iron Man, or just
pretty much. Rob has become a really good friend, and he's always pushed me to use it, even though he was doing it first, but and made it So, but we've had some really good Iron Man versus Iron Man matches, and
you two guys have tagged quite a bit, right?
Yes.
Over the last couple of years, we've been tagging everywhere. Probably about 3 or 4 years now we've been tagging.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all do
You like single or tag better?
You can raise more mischief and mayhem when you're tagging.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Singles is fun too, but tagging's it's just real cool.
Yeah.
Y'all the current USWF Tag Team Champions.
We
longest
have been
reigning
for
ever.
about 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Really, y'all had to.
sir.
Why didn't y'all bring the belts?
1,000 something days.
Yeah. Because Jimmy knows us really well, and he does not let us take the belt.
Don't want them lost or
Yeah.
end up in a party spot somewhere.
Well, no, it's probably more me because JR is, believe it or not, the straight laced one of the two of us.
Surprise.
And Jimmy and the rest of the staff at the USWF knows that I would probably do bad things with rats with the belt. So they don't let us. They don't let us take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
As Jim Walls, he's like, I got to protect my business
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We wrestled a few matches against each other before we started tagging. And then Cody came down and started working USWF, and we started tagging there. We've been running ever since all over the place.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Y'all tag teams inside KPW quite a few
Yeah,
times.
we
there.
tag team
absolutely.
champions there. A couple other places too we've tagged.
So, what do you think about Chris Blaze's back bumps? Because he said that you commented about it last Saturday.
Who's Chris Blaze?
This guy.
I'm just saying.
This guy right here that likes to go, something out now, baby.
He's supposed to be our Roman reporter, but he doesn't do. He just roams. He doesn't
Yeah. I was
report
gonna
anything.
say he's not much on
Since I
Yeah.
commented on his back bumps, I'm assuming as the guy up there training at EWA.
the. Correct.
I had to
Yeah. It's
guess.
him. Yeah.
They looked pretty good for his first time taking back bumps. He wasn't real sure of himself, but he did all right.
Yeah, yeah. He's kind of scared a little bit. He took a little shot in here one day.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, he was like that when I went to.
but he's a great guy. He's so funny. He's
Just give me a
hilarious.
hard time, Chris.
Yeah, we give you a hard time, Chris.
Party man Cam's on. He said, "What's up, guys?"
That's our
What's
buddy
going
Cam.
on?
Hell yeah.
It's the one I was telling you about.
So what, both of you guys, y'all, what's one of your really memorable, like you go back and you're like, damn, what match really defined who I was in wrestling?
Man, that's a great question.
There it
Prior,
is.
I would say the match when I started using the strap,
Uh-huh.
got that going. I started using the strap in around 2007, 2008. I was wrestling a lot for HCW, Hardcore Championship Wrestling, in the Hazard area. And I was like, man, something doesn't have it. This wrestling doesn't have the old school feel anymore.
Yeah.
So I went and talked to the promoter. I was like, man, I got to turn it up a notch. It's got to be more physical. It's got to be more violent. It's got to be meaner. He's like, okay. So I was wrestling American Eagle that night. Kevin Crine.
Dude, when I've watched
you,
I've watched you wrestle a few times now, and like you do have that intensity. You have
Yeah.
that fucking like excitement, that intensity. That's like that, just that badass fucker.
That's what
just
that's
that
what
badass
wrestling
motherfucker.
Is. That's what wrestling is.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
I love to see people like that. Like I love to see people that just get in there and just like mix it up. Like you just
Yeah.
will just. And when you take bumps, I mean, it when you go out flying out of the ring and shit, it's like
Yeah.
this guy is fucking loving this shit.
So
That's right.
I went out there and wrestled Kevin that night, and he went back to the promoter. He's like, man, what got into JR? He's turning it up out there. He's like, yeah. He said he's getting ready to turn the volume up on some of this stuff, so you better be ready for it. And ever since then, I got the strap and started doing the King of the Strap match thing, and
Yeah.
just laying it in there and, going full
So
black
was that
belts,
the time when like, like I'm sure you guys had like, when y'all first started, you're like, I don't know if I'm got this or not. Like,
Oh, yeah, it takes 2 to 3 years to get your
Oh,
bearings
yeah.
and figure
Yeah.
out what you're going to do and if you're going to make it or not. You don't know.
yeah, did you have like a time when you were like, oh fuck this, I'm gonna quit. I ain't
Oh,
good.
definitely.
Oh,
Everybody
absolutely.
goes through
Yeah.
that.
Everybody goes through that, man. You just, and I'm talking about like everybody, like from our level all the way up. You talk to some of
Yeah.
those guys that have made it and are back down or still up there, and they'll tell you the stories of almost, especially now since the shooter reviews are so big. You hear those guys talk about, man, I almost went back to working at the clubs and I almost went back to working at a loading dock, and
Yeah.
and everybody that I've ever talked to wrestler wise has always had that moment. Am I gonna make it? Do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to keep being away from my family? Do I want to keep destroying my body? As usual, JR's tearing something up. He probably just hit
That's
somebody with a bottle.
I
Or,
thought about it.
so I mean, no matter what, you have that.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that, as people, we're all so self-conscious anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And you go, man, especially, and we're the hardest critics.
Uh-huh.
Wrestlers are the hardest critics on ourselves. And man, that was awful. The match was complete shit.
Yeah.
Especially when you first start, and then you got the guys also. Yeah, and I've learned that your real friends and your real people in the business are not the ones that come and say, "Oh man, that was great. It looks so good." No, it's the guys like Donnie and Bobby Green who come up and say, "Kid, that was the worst shit I've ever seen in my entire life. You should go burn your boots right now."
They were honest.
I'm very honest, but they're also helpful.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
They, after they break you down, then they go, "But why don't you try it this way?
Yeah.
Why don't
Yeah.
you do it this way? Or watch this guy, because this is where you are right now, and you're trying to be here, and you're still way down here, and so."
Yeah.
Bobby Blaze said, took me almost 6 years before I start getting it. So it took him that long before you start realizing that it's clicking.
Actually, me and Bobby talked about that not so long ago, about the day that he realized, okay, I finally got this now, and it was a great story. He'll have to come on and tell you all that story.
Yeah, he's
He
he's
definitely
incredible.
does.
He's
It's
incredible.
like a light switch. Like you're struggling. You go out there and you have a really good match, and you just get this feeling. You're like, I got it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's right. And there's no better feeling than when you got the crowd.
I'm sure it's a great feeling
reacting
when you
to
do
you.
that. But then, like next time you go out, you were like, "Do I still got it?"
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you always go out and screw that up.
Yeah. I mean, is there like a time in the match where you're like, you screwed something up and you're like, do you just kind of like let it go, or do you kind of like say, "Ah, damn, I screwed that up"? And I guess you got to let it go, don't you?
Yeah, man, you just got to keep going forward.
and
Just
move
gotta-
on.
Yeah.
If you hold on to it, it'll destroy you.
So is there any like big names that like famous guys that you guys wrestled that you were like, damn, I got to wrestle that guy? Or
Yeah, there's a couple. Like he was talking about Rob Conway. I love Rob Conway.
Yeah,
Me and
absolutely.
him had several matches. I actually got very lucky. I wrestled at the Battle in the Border on the, I think, Indiana-Illinois border, 2016. They booked me on the show in August, and the show was in October. And I kept waiting to find out who I was going to wrestle. Who am I going to wrestle? The promoter finally called me and said, "All right, I've got who your match is going to be." I said, "Oh, okay. Tell me who it is." He's like, "Well, I was talking to Rob Conway the other day, and I was going down all the people on the card. And he said he picked you to wrestle on this match."
oh wow,
I was like, awesome. I was
That's
like, I know
big.
Rob. I said, I've had great matches with Rob. I said, that'd be fantastic.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Cody?
Man, same. I got to put Rob over all that I can because he's been so good to me. We've had some great matches. We've got, become really close friends outside the business. And then Mike Bucci, Simon Dean, Supernova,
Oh, yeah, he's
whichever.
a good dude. I had a good match with him.
Great matches with him too. And I can never, ever, ever put Tracy Smothers over enough.
Yeah,
Tracy came in to the town where I spent most of my career, Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, and they brought him in. We were going to wrestle. It was the third match he had that day. He had been on a show at 9 o'clock that morning in Nashville, and then they drove down here. He did a show in Georgetown. I believe it was Fort Felony and Cujo, I believe. And then he came over to Lawrenceburg to finish the day out. And he walked in, and, the promoter was talking to him or whatever, and they're like, as most names, when promoters bring them in, they put them over on their guys. But the guys like Tracy will always be like, no, this guy's here every week. He's your guy you're pushing. And he was like, no, I'm not pinning this kid, and so Tracy put me over that night. It was great.
wow.
Yeah.
How good does that feel when somebody like you, like a legendary guy like that,
Or
like
makes
says,
sense, like-
insists that you win over him? Like,
Oh man, it's great.
I mean, because he's got to respect you as a wrestler to let you do that to him.
Yeah, and the business, man. Tracy was always about the business, and that was always his big thing. Is no, that guy's here every single week, and this may be a one-off for me, or you guys may bring me in 3 times a year, but these guys are here every week. So Tracy was great. Been on shows, not in the ring with guys, but like Lawler, been on the MWA shows with him. He was always really cool to everybody. Samoa Joe was really great. I had the privilege of wrestling Wildcat Chris Harris.
Hell yeah.
He was always super cool. And so,
We met him up at NWF.
Yep.
Yes.
Such a nice guy, man.
So, oh man.
He was so nice to us.
We also
I'd love to
Yeah,
get
he's
him
a
down
good
here
guy.
on the podcast, but he's only in Cincinnati. He thinks Lexington's like 100 miles away.
I know, yeah.
Get a hold
He's
of him.
always been that way.
Hit up Flapjack. He'll drive him down.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
I was supposed to get in touch with his wife. I think she does all his booking, so he's
Yeah.
like, get in touch with my wife, and I never did get in touch with him. But
we also met Roger Ruffin.
yeah, Roger
Roger's
Ruffin
great.
was super
Yeah,
nice to us up there,
yeah.
man. Super nice
I
to
like
us.
Roger and Big Mama. Big Mama's
Yeah.
great.
That they would be great guests for you all too.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love to get him down here. I think his shoot job is real early in the morning or
is,
something.
it
Yeah,
is.
but he was so nice to us when we were up there. I'd love to go up there and do a live for those guys. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
They got a lot of great talent there. Michael Lotus is one of them.
Yeah, Michael Lotus. We got Big Rex.
Yep.
He wrestles up there a lot, and Swayze wrestles up there a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Big Rex has such a badass theme though. When he comes out there,
He's
That's
fu-
Big Rex.
He's a big son of a bitch, and he's a
Yeah,
monster.
Yes.
Huge.
Donnie Green told was fucking with him so crazy. He said, "So you better take your big ass on back up inside that ring before I beat your ass." And
I
then-
think Donnie wants to get back in the ring
Yeah.
so bad. Like,
And he should.
yeah, he should.
absolutely.
He's
He really
still
should.
young. He can do it still.
Come on down, Donnie. The fair's getting ready to start for Rated X.
That's right.
He's
Awesome.
been
That's right.
he's been getting into shape. He's been losing a little weight. I think he could go. I think he could
I
go.
think they could too.
Yeah.
All he's got to do is
Such a
get his
badass, man.
license.
Such a funny guy too. Such a funny guy, man. Every time he comes in here, him and Bear get drunk and they just fucking,
Yes.
we just have such a good time. And then we had Al and Chucky in here too. We We had some great.
They
freaking-
tore the house down that night.
Yeah, we had some great interviews with those guys.
We'd have
And,
Victor Lewis in here too.
Oh, yeah, I love Vic.
Vic
Vic's
himself.
Oh yeah, we had Vic in here. Vic came in. He was so quiet when he sat down, and I'm like, oh my god, Vic's not gonna say. I was thinking to
And it
myself.
blew
Oh,
you
no.
away.
I was saying in my head, Vic ain't gonna say shit.
No, once
Vic-
you get him going.
Vic ain't gonna say nothing to me. I had the first time I met him, he sat down there and was so nice and polite, and then like the mic
It's
came
like a
on and he
snack.
was like, da, 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 da. I was like, oh god, I'm so glad.
I mean, you thought that was quiet too when I first met you.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a really good story about Vic. We were down in Casey County area. It was supposed to be a wrestle war, but it was more of a wrestle co-op.
yeah.
It was 3 companies, and we had a couple of rings set up for battle royals. All right. So I'm in this one ring, and I throw Matty B out. He climbs in and goes to the second ring because it's double elimination. He gets in the second ring. Somebody gives him a big shot, and he falls back and hits Vic in the back of the leg. Vic turns around, looks down at him. It's like, So Vic rolls him over and commences to chopping him on the chest. He's trying to get up, and Steve Marino comes over and puts his boot on his head, and everybody else in the battle royal just stops and watches.
It's literally,
Wham.
literally you all. It was like
Wham!
it was like a scene out of a movie. Like the whole like,
Freeze frame.
freeze frame, like legit. Like everybody was like,
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's
After-
so good for a show, man.
Yeah.
That's so funny when something like that happens and everybody just gives attention to that
Yeah.
one thing.
After Vic got done wearing him out, he picks him up, he throws him out of the ring. Boom, battle royal. They hit
commences back.
unpause.
Yeah, I'm fine. That's right.
I've been wanting to ask you a question. What do you know about the Nippler?
He's a weirdo, man.
Very weird.
Yes.
Where did he
Really
come
weird.
from? That
Oh,
guy.
He started, his first match was down at New Origins Wrestling in Irvin.
Uh-huh. That's
He,
such a funny, that's such a funny character. He's such a funny
I
character.
want to say his first match was against Haley Shadows.
Okay.
Nice.
He's a weird dude, man.
He brings that plunger with him and he nips him in the
Yeah,
butt.
he sits on that thing in the corner of the turnbuckle sometimes, like a little stool.
Yeah. I
So
noticed
funny.
that.
That when I seen that down at was it K
It was KPW Scott Down's
KPW,
birthday
yeah.
bash.
the birthday bash? I seen that. I was like, what the hell is this guy
Yes.
like?
Yeah, he don't wrestle much. He did New Origins, he done KPW, and maybe a couple other spots. He don't get out much.
Yeah. Was
I
that
know.
was him showing up a request from somebody or?
Yeah, usually they call and request him.
Yeah.
He's a
That's
special
I
side
know
show
that.
kind of guy.
I know that Diego's still feeling it because Diego got it.
Oh yeah, Diego. I think him and Nippler are real close now.
yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Party Man Cam, I see you send a message. Hit me up on Facebook. I'll message you back, buddy.
That's right.
Yeah,
Party
same.
Man.
Absolutely same.
Who is it?
Party Man Cam.
Oh, what's up, party man?
He said, JR, Cody told me to talk to you about possibly getting into the fair matches.
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, great match, Cody, and thank you for our match, JR Rock.
No problem.
Thank you.
I
Thanks,
love beating
man.
the crap out of you. Anytime you want to get back in there, I'll be more than happy to lay a beat down on you.
Hell yeah.
I mean, your matches are intense. The
They
first
are,
time I
man.
saw you,
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
wrestling is. That's,
Did-
they
did
should
you
be.
have any,
Exactly.
Any favorite beatdowns, Jr.?
Oh my God, favorite beatdowns. There's a couple of spots that stick out in my mind, and oddly enough, both of them involve members of the dysfunctional family faction that I've been in over the years.
Yeah.
One was with Lexi Green when Frank the Tank and another member of the Diamond Cartel held her down, and I strapped her till her back bled.
Oh wow.
In Lawrenceburg. One, when I was beating on John Strange, I actually broke my own hand beating him so
Oh,
hard.
damn.
Oh wow.
And then down at HCW,
I've seen that guy wrestle. That guy's nuts.
He is.
John Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen him down at UCW down there.
yeah,
Yeah, that dude was intense.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then down at HCW, me and Aku taped Daryl Fugit, Showtime Sean Christopher into the turnbuckle, and I beat him with my strap until I was tired.
Yeah. Have you taken anything like any chops or anything like that you're like is like damn that's memorable like from
Oh, man,
anybody
yeah.
like it who does the worst chop out there?
When I broke into the business, Tuffy was where I started training at. So every time I was in the ring with him, it was Chop City.
Yeah.
Chop, 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 chop.
I've heard about his actually Sean's took one of his.
Yeah.
I've taken one
Yeah.
his.
I don't
It's time
think
to
I've
switch,
taken
Sean.
any,
All right.
any
I
chops
was there the night you took that.
worse
Yeah.
than Tuffy's, to tell you the truth. He's a pretty rough, because he's got super hard, calloused hands, and
Yes,
they just hurt
Oh,
so
Tuffy
bad.
does?
Yeah,
Tuffy.
they just hurt so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
Speaking
you
of
know,
which, Diego's calling.
Yeah, we're not going to answer right now.
yeah,
go.
Tuffy.
We'll get hold of you.
Can't call in every show, Cameron.
Tuffy does have a really great chop, hard, but he also takes, he takes it so seriously that this Vic throws a chop that'll almost put your heart through your chest.
Yeah, I've been chopped by him a couple times too.
Yeah, a few times.
They say Omega's pretty tough.
Omega's getting there. He throws some really good ones.
I don't think I've been chopped by him.
Cash flow.
Oh yeah,
Cash
Cash.
Flow,
He's got
take
some
it.
nasty chops.
Yes,
I haven't
sir.
taken any, but I've seen him.
Oh,
Cash. He's got
yeah,
some
I've
nasty
taken a
chops.
few from Cash, and he, yeah, but Omega is one of those guys that there's a few guys that I keep my eye on that are really gonna come up in the next few years that are gonna take this business over, like Omega, Carson Drake.
Carson Drake's a
man.
star already, ain't he?
Brandon
absolutely.
Wolf. Is
Brandon
up and
Wolf.
coming.
Brandon Wolf.
Yeah, a lot of great matches with Brandon last summer.
Yeah, Jacob
But,
Ratliff.
What y'all
Jacob
think about
Ratliff.
Marty Clay?
Marty-
He was going to be on my next.
Oh, you was going to say, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Marty Clay got to have his first match against me.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, down at Kyle Maggard's.
Yep.
But real quick,
We love Marty Clay. We're like a big fans of his, and he came on this show, and when the first time he came on the show, he was real quiet,
Yeah, I tell you, he isn't. That's
then he-
Marty in
Yeah,
real
Marty's
life.
quite
Like,
good.
Yeah, and then he went down and had a couple matches, and I think he had a match in was it Alabama or Oklahoma or something, and then he went down to Texas a couple
Alabama.
times, and when he came back, he was like he just transferred into a different cat there after a while. Like he's just a totally like even with his talking and stuff, he's just turned into a different guy.
and Jake and JR mentioned him, Jacob Ratliff, man.
Oh,
he is-
okay.
he is just that guy is transitioning into one of the. I really feel that he's going to break out in the next year or so. He's already doing some really good stuff. I really Kentucky Independent Wrestling right now has so many guys on the verge that are about to break out and really show this and really show some skill and some. I'm telling everybody to keep an eye on it because it's gonna.
Oh yeah, there's so many good
Hey,
young
Adrian
guys,
Alexander,
man.
man. Adrian.
Like Kellen
It's
Craven and Nate
Cravens.
Gnarly and
Yeah.
like all these guys are just incredible workers. Like even Lexus Littlefoot's coming on. Like she's gotten some reps in down there at New
Yeah.
South, and she's becoming such a good wrestler. She's wrestling with some of these really good girls
That's awesome.
that's wrestling, and can't like there's a lot of good guys. Carson is really impressive.
Oh yeah, I was around when Carson first started.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, really impressive. He steals the show anytime he's on the show.
Oh yeah, Carson's great. Earlier we were talking about some of my favorite beatdowns. There's one that comes to mind. Of me and Scott Diamond, of course, doing cartel stuff.
Yeah.
So there's this dude, we roll up at his house because he's a punk getting in the cartel business. We jump him on his way to the gym and beat the tar out of this guy, just wear him out, put him through his car windshield, punk him out, take his belt, and go home. It was one of the best.
Hey, whoa, hold on,
ever.
Was
on,
that
man.
you?
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's not funny at
Oh,
all.
oh, we
It's
might
not
have
funny.
that was you.
It's not funny at all.
we might have a hallway match here.
Yeah.
I totally forgot all about that being you, brother.
Yeah. Man, that was.
Sean Johns has joined us over here.
I am.
You got any questions for these guys, Sean? You've been around these guys a lot longer than I have.
I have. You done matches with your strap, like a strap match?
Oh
style
yeah,
thing?
man, I've had all kinds of stat
Yeah.
matches. Yeah, Daryl Fugit, Zodiac, Johnny Suede.
Hey, Zodiac's such a fucking legend around here, man. Like
Yes,
that's
Zodiac.
a fucking great guy, man.
Yeah, I used to tag team with him quite
Yeah.
a bit.
And you all want to talk about a dominant tag team. I mean, to get back on the subject of Jared not being a prick. But no, man, when Zodiac and JR were tagging, they were just destroying people. It was it was the entrance.
I bet, man.
I remember seeing them in Georgetown all the time.
I
was
bet
there
that
security
that
for
sounds like
eight.
that sounds like a good fucking tag team now.
They were a good time.
You know who Jimmy Clough is, right?
Yep.
Club, yeah.
Yeah, me and Zodiac suplexed Jimmy Clough at a
Sure
show
did.
one night. He's like 400 pounds at least.
And the
Oh,
ring held up.
Yeah, that's the shocker.
Yeah. Good stuff. That was actually a tag team double strap match.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. Okay, so y'all are tied together, kind of, right?
Yeah. Me and Jimmy were strapped together, and Zodiac and Jimmy's partner were strapped together. And Dutch Mantell was a referee there.
Oh, cool.
Dirty Dutch.
That's cool.
Yeah. Dutch is another one we had some good matches with. And always another guy that always gave back, made sure to give you input.
Dutch Mantell?
Yes, sir.
Dutch Mantell.
Yes, sir.
He's got a really cool podcast right now himself, don't he?
Yeah. They all can't be like ours.
Oh, that's not like nothing's like this one, but
Yeah.
I see like the main event, the main big podcast now are having like wrestlers on now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan had Ric Flair on earlier. Logan Paul had on Shawn Michaels the other day.
Saw them wrestlers,
Like a lot of them are just Joe Rogan's had on Undertaker already. Like it's I think that we started something there.
I think we
Whether
did.
people want to admit it or not, everybody's a closet wrestling fan.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, exactly. Everything's pro wrestling, man. Everything is
You
pro
hear
wrestling. Life's pro
football
wrestling.
players, they're, meet, like Johnny Unitas and Emmett Smith or whatever. But then they get around wrestlers, they're like little kids or something
Absolutely.
like, oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
They say all
wrestlers are like that towards the football players. I'm like, good God.
all the wrestlers want to be football players. All the football players want to be wrestlers. All the comedians want to be actors, and all the
Actors want to be comedians.
Lucky enough to get to be a football player and a wrestler.
okay,
nice.
yeah, cool, man. Where'd you play football at?
At my high school, and then I played for the Kentucky All-Star football team in Australia in 2001.
No shit.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. In Australia.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What position did you play?
At that game, I played a whole bunch, but normally defensive end and tight end.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome, man. We didn't know that about J.R. Rock.
Yeah.
I learn something new on this
Played
podcast every week.
football
Yeah.
and track in high school before I got into wrestling.
Hell yeah. Always been an athlete.
And skateboard, a lot of skateboarding.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I can see that now. I can see the skateboarding in. Yeah. You skateboard now?
I haven't in a long time. No, I haven't.
You think you can do it still?
Maybe a little bit. Probably
Yeah,
couldn't do a whole lot. But as what we were talking about earlier, we wasn't really being a prick. We were just handling cartel business. So hopefully you learned that lesson.
No, not at all. Original member of the cartel here, by the way.
Yeah.
You were just kind of an afterthought.
It must have been a better thought because I was in it a lot longer.
That's
just
true.
saying.
But so was Tomahawk and Michelle Myers. So
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't cartel legacy joints.
So what was the other?
that's
What was
a
the
very
other?
great point,
What was
sir.
the other one you had? The other family?
Oh, the dysfunctional family. That was
Who was all that? Who was all
the
in that?
original dysfunctional family was myself, Scotty Ray, John Strange, and Lexi Green.
Oh yeah. It sounds like a dysfunctional family there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That Johnny Strange guy, he seems
Rest
like
in peace, Scott D. Ray.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
that guy. That's Johnny Strange guy. Man, he seems like he's nuts.
Strange.
Down there at UCW, he came out with a picnic. What was it like a paper plate around his? Is that thing he does all the time, or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is now.
It's basically just because he has an ugly face. But
Yeah.
But he jumped over that rope like a crazy man.
Man, he went out. He went over the top. Was y'all down there? He went over that. Y'all were down there. He went over that top rope like a fucking crazy person. Like I just thought he would. I thought he was really hurt. Like he just got right back up. Like
I've
he.
had a lot of good matches against John and with John.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he wrestles in Florida now, is what I understand.
The last match wasn't so hot, but prior to that, there was a lot of good matches.
Yeah.
The night didn't you all start a riot a few years ago from power bombing? So that's a great story.
So we were down at Rocky Top, Tennessee, and the dysfunctional family was wrestling the Retro Lads, Jeremy Brake and Future. So at the end of the match, we're doing a little beatdown action on Jeremy Brake because that's what they deserved.
Yeah.
And Jeremy's wife decided she wanted to get involved, and for some reason, when I gave her a hangman power bomb, all the crowd, wanted to get up and a fuss about it, and the locker room kind of cleared out because they were all upset.
Cleared the
locker room.
Locker room. Wow.
Yeah, they weren't too happy about that.
You was just doing your job. She wants to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, we were just out there minding our own business, beating the stuff out of those two jobbers, and she had to come out there and try to keep me from strapping them. So as far as I'm concerned, she got what she deserved, just like Cody did when I put him through that car windshield.
So you guys are
Well,
Kentucky.
that's like somebody coming in, jumping the crowd. Back
Yeah.
in the day, if somebody jumped the barricade that wasn't supposed to be there,
Oh, it's not
wrestlers
just
were
back in the
instructed
day.
to take
It's-
care of
It's
business.
still today.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody comes across the barricade, you watch to get the lights put out real quick.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
Fair game.
yeah.
What I meant.
JR's had to take his strap to a few fans that have tried to jump on us.
Yeah.
Wow, I bet that's
Yeah.
fun, right?
Oh yeah. We were on the show in Irvin one night, and this woman came out of the crowd with an L8 bottle trying to hit somebody in the head with it.
Oh wow. I bet it does get a little it gets a little scary. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I've had people throw stuff at me, spit at me. There were people slashing tires in the parking
Oh,
lot in Moorhead
absolutely.
one night.
We were watching a match between Henry Shaw and who was it? Henry Shaw and somebody else. Was it Eugene? And they somebody threw a chili some nachos at Henry Shaw. And he had chili like he had
Oh yeah, it was Eugene.
yeah he had fucking cheese all up on his back.
Yeah,
He's
and
like-
he didn't know about it.
he didn't know about it, and the crowd kept calling him cheesy or something. I think.
He had this big old stain.
Yeah, have y'all ever got things thrown at y'all in the ring? Like
Oh,
I guess y'all
absolutely.
have.
Water
Absolutely.
bottles,
Absolutely.
rocks.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
do they do to the people like that? Just kick them out, I
If
guess.
they can find who they are, they kick them out. Most of the time, you can
Most of the
get
time.
through it.
Yeah,
Even though most of the time, us as being who we are,
yeah,
when JR's
Well,
not putting
egg it
me
on.
through windshields, we tell them not to throw them out because we very much enjoy
Yeah.
continuing to rile those people up
Yeah.
and hoping they come across because both of us really like hitting people in the face.
Yeah.
So.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I
Come
Even
on.
though we've been cool this whole time, I do have to admit, one of those times I was one of those that threw
Yeah.
something at you. I want to apologize now.
Yeah,
Cody.
yeah.
You threw
Don't-
something at somebody?
Yeah.
You piece
yeah.
of shit,
Yeah,
I
you're,
was-
you're awful close to JR, sir, to be.
That's right.
Hey, me and Cody.
I'm not saying that just because JR's here.
Yeah.
I just had to apologize.
We
like
ran a
that.
dude over down at the Somerset Fair.
Oh
one
my
night.
God!
we
I heard
did.
about,
We
I
did.
heard about this. I didn't see it, but I
Yeah.
heard about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, he had it coming.
He
Yeah.
was,
Well,
I
yeah.
He was
remember.
crowding out into the entranceway, and he didn't
Yeah.
like the shoulder blocks he got on their way to the ring. He was
Yeah.
a little upset.
Loves it.
That's funny.
But still comes to. He'll be at probably at least 5 of the fair shows this year.
Oh, he still comes to
Oh,
shows and
okay.
stuff. He loved
He
it, huh?
comes to cuss us.
Did y'all
Yeah.
see? Did y'all see that guy ran over?
yeah. I mean, that's something he's probably going to tell his grandkids.
Oh yeah, exactly. I got to get involved in a wrestling match.
Yeah.
They fucked me up real good.
Yeah, real good. And then, a lot of people, fans and some of the younger wrestlers didn't get to experience some of the towns we did. Like, a lot of my time was spent in a little town called Glensboro, which is right outside of Lawrenceburg.
Uh-huh.
JR's been there too. JR had the Harlan and Hazard and the fans. Like one night in Glensboro, Bobby and Donnie Green got the fans so riled up that they literally waited for him in the parking lot, and fights started. They're knocking guys out everywhere you can come up. Here comes other wrestlers, and it's a lot you don't get to see anymore.
Yeah.
About like when we came up, there was still the fans got so much more into it than what they do now because the guys really pushed to that. But it was just another one of those stories that, like literally they were just knocking guys. Both of them just punching people as quick as quick as they would get one off of them, there were 5 more.
Yeah. Two real fucking badasses.
Oh yeah, but just the crowds back then.
Yeah.
That happened a lot down there.
Yeah.
It happened
Mount
a lot.
Sterling.
It's Mount Sterling, man.
The
There's-
barricades in Mount Sterling were built out of 2x4s, so they wouldn't collapse.
so they
to keep
wouldn't
the fans in.
to keep them. Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's like
absolutely.
a big 2x4 fence.
Big John
basically,
Gilbert,
around
what's
the
up, buddy?
Big John.
How you doing, John?
ring. What's up?
Y'all see? I got a
Jay
little.
Hootie Who said Lawrenceburg was the best.
Y'all talk about Brandon Wolf. I got a little clip of John throwing Brandon across the ring the other day, like down there at the EWA.
All
Oh,
right.
nice.
Rumble Royale.
We lost a.
Oh,
It does that sometimes.
He was talking about riots at shows. The best one I've ever been on was in Mount Sterling. It was at the Donnie Green Senior Memorial Tournament.
Oh my God.
They had to shut the show down for like 30 minutes because the fans were going to the cars to get the guns.
Oh,
they were
shit.
gonna kill
Yeah.
Vic the Bruiser.
Oh, really?
He
Wow.
got on the microphone and said the only good green is a dead green.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
Big Donnie had just passed not too long before that.
Oh,
I
shit.
thought they were going to burn the building down
Oh, me,
with
yeah,
all of us
I-
inside it.
I wasn't there, but I was getting texts and phone calls like, man, you may have to come
It was
roll
bad.
up with the car and
Save some people.
yeah.
It was
Oh.
bad.
And there was another one a lot like that. It was on a Daryl Fugate show. Black Rain, TJ Lightning were out there, and I was reffing that night actually. And a lot of times back then, even with those wild crowds, the only security that Daryl had was his mom. His 60-year-old mother was.
Oh, wow.
Was this and she was a tough. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like it would have took 10 men to take this lady down. But the weekend after Dale Earnhardt passed away in that crash, Black Rain gets on the microphone and goes, if you people don't sit down and shut up, I'm going to come out there and smack all of you harder than Dale Earnhardt smacked that wall.
Oh, wow.
Again, you heard the guns clicking, you heard the knives, the old case knives being pulled out, and man,
Yeah.
like we literally had to fight for our lives to get back to that locker room, and they barricaded the locker room door, and the police had to come, like, escort everybody out.
What's it like being in that locker room when the fucking door's being, like, beat down? Like,
Oh, dude, it's
Wild. It's
wild.
crazy stuff.
Yeah, because you're just thinking, man, it's going to be, there might be 10 or 15 wrestlers in there against.
There's 200 in the crowd.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, going to beat the door down, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Beat their asses.
That's crazy. Yeah, Anthony Presley talked about Glennsboro a lot
Oh,
when he
yeah.
comes in here. He talks
Yeah.
about Glennsboro. He always brings Glennsboro up.
Yeah, he was another one that started there when it was wild, man.
Yeah.
Andrew Do Browning wants to know if he can call in.
Sure.
Yeah,
Call us,
Yeah, I
dude.
do. Go ahead, buddy.
Do is the man.
Doo-Doo Browning.
He recently just lost his mother.
Yeah, he lost his mother and
Yeah, man.
his mom, his grandmother's, like,
At
fell and hurt her.
Cardinal Hill.
Yeah, she's at Cardinal Hill now.
Yeah.
That's good that he's got a whole family that helps look after him too. So
And Chuck does a lot with Andrew as well. Chuck is
Yep.
Smooth, being the great guy that he is, takes, coaches Andrew and takes Andrew around. And,
yeah,
man.
they're those guys are good guys, man. Andrew's always at the shows. He loves to come to the shows. He hasn't been to some
loves
shows lately though, really, has he?
Who knows?
Oh, he's been going through the stuff,
Yeah.
He had a couple of health issues himself, and then
Here we go. Here he is. Doo-Doo Browning, what's up?
What up, what up?
What's up, buddy?
Let's do.
What's going on?
You got JR Rock and Cody Mathews in here.
what's up, Andrew?
Cody Mathews. Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
What's up, Cody?
What's going on, my brother? How you been?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's all you can do, man. Is hang in there.
Sorry to hear about your mom. I know we haven't talked since that went down, so sorry to hear about that. And you're always in our thoughts and prayers, my brother.
And thank you. What's up, JR Rock?
What's going on, brother?
Not much, you?
You see it, my man. Just down here entertaining the people.
Yeah, you always do anyway.
I try my best.
Who is that?
I remember. I still won't forget when I used to call you the skirt man.
That's right. Everybody says that. Everybody says that.
Hopefully, you get back out to some shows here soon, Drew.
Yeah, we gotta get you some shows. You ain't been to a show in a while.
Yeah, everything's been a little bit downhill for a while.
Yeah.
My back's killing me.
Well, that sucks.
Hey, I know how that feels. My back's been killing me from carrying this tag team with Cody for the past 3 years, brother.
Oh wow.
Well, you hurt
Well,
yourself
I've been.
carrying him to the car once you own him to it,
What's up, Sean?
Nah, not much, dude.
We got we put Johnny in the corner tonight. He's over in the corner.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
He said good.
Nobody puts Johnny in the corner.
Nobody puts Johnny in the
Damn
corner.
straight nobody puts me
That's
back
right.
on.
Andrew, we're gonna let you go, buddy. We'll see you later. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks, Drew.
All right. hopefully I can come back to shows soon.
Yeah, we hope to see you back
see
at
ya.
some shows, man. And we need to get you back in the studio here too.
Yeah, it's been a while, too.
I know, right? Well, hang in there, buddy. We're all praying for you and your family.
Oh, well, and I got camp coming up this Memorial weekend, so I'm pumped for that.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Gonna be my 20th year going.
Wow.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. We'll talk to you
You
later.
know where Athens Boothboro is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's where it's at down there.
So it's a camp down there? You go down there and camp?
It's Bluegrass Christian Camp.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Heck
Yeah.
That sounds like fun, man.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped.
Good.
That's
I'm
good
glad.
time, brother. Have a good time.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later.
All right,
Okay, have a
play
good
it,
one,
Rock.
Andrew.
All right, bye.
All right, y'all.
Andrew Dubrowning.
And Cam, it's good to be seen, brother.
Yeah,
Party
always.
Man. Cam, I don't know if we can call you, but you can call us if you want to talk, brother.
Johnny, send him my number.
No, we'll-
Didn't he just call? That's yeah.
We've been on here for an hour. It's time to pay some bills. Get on for all your internet gaming needs. Royal Lex is on Facebook. You can get over there and sign up for those guys and tell them nice guy Andy sent you, and you'll get $5 in free play. Later on that night, from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, Royal Dark is there for your internet gaming needs late at night. Those guys stay up late for you guys. Tell them nice guy Andy podcast sent you, and they will help you out to get signed up. So, and
Bucks the Muck Catering. They are tremendous. They make great food, everything. They're the official catering of New South Wrestling and us. They pay us to.
I don't see no food, brother.
I know we
Yeah,
need
yeah,
some
what's
food in
going on?
here.
Bring us no
Mucks and muck.
I didn't say
Yeah.
they give us food, but
Yeah,
they're great.
they
they
pay
probably
us to
would
shout
if I
it. They
if I
probably
called
would.
them and said, "Hey, we need some food." I should have. They probably would
Well,
bring us
you're
some food.
fired, Andy.
I know. I
No.
don't ever like. I'm always trying to get the
Right.
podcast going. I don't ever call them and say, "Get some
Then,
food."
The belts here, currently, they're still done by our old sponsor, Muhammad Jafar, the man from Pakistan. Get a hold of him or get a hold of Andy. He'll set you up with a great deal.
We still have a. We have a
also
new.
got Snaps and Straps.
Yeah,
He will be our new sponsor.
he's
going
actually
forward.
Snaps and Straps. Brandon Douglas is actually making us some new belts, so he's going to be our new.
As soon as they come in,
He's going to be our new belt sponsor. He made the trios titles for AEW.
Very cool.
And he's
Very
made the X Division champ for
Impact.
Impact and another belt over there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
so
couldn't tell you what it is off the top of my head.
straps and snaps and straps. Get you guys can
Get a hold of
get
them.
a hold of them on the on Instagram
And
go
on Facebook, Brandon Douglas himself.
and Facebook on Brandon Douglas on Facebook, and check out the Nice Guy Andy podcast on Facebook, YouTube. We're on Twitch. Go over to Twitter. We got a Twitter. Check us out. Go and subscribe. And if you guys can want to help out the podcast, you can
Send
go
some
to
stars.
Facebook.
Subscribe.
Go to Facebook and send some stars and go on there and subscribe.
Send him
five-
the link now.
For $5 a month, you can subscribe to the Nice Guy Andy podcast and get some behind the scene footage of some bloopers and stuff that we have going on, and you guys can support the podcast. Every little bit helps, guys. We got to pay the bills around here, so
Yeah, guys, go over there. It's
Support the
it's
sponsors.
$5 a month.
If you don't have a wrestling belt, go get a wrestling belt. Everybody needs a wrestling belt.
Yeah, everybody does need a wrestling belt. That's one
I
thing.
got 12.
That's one thing I need. You need custom ones, like custom. You custom, put your name on it, and and like when you're out there, you got your own name on your pocket, on your belt. It's put your face on your belt, like I do.
You ain't got to be like us when we were kids. We were making our belts in a scrap metal and junk. You can
That's
just
right.
buy a nice one now.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and they're very affordable. I think you can get one less than $300 now. So
Yeah.
and the ones that at Snaps and Straps are made here in the United States. The Brandon is down in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So guys, get a hold of Brandon or get a hold of us, and we'll get a hold of Brandon for you if you guys want a belt made.
What's up, Kirkpatrick?
What's up, Kirk?
Kirk.
The man.
Hello, Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
Man, absolutely, guys. Listen, these guys do this because they love wrestling. They love going to the shows. So go over there, subscribe for $5. It costs less than what it cost me to get my windshield fixed. And JR put me through it. So it's $5. Go over there so these guys can keep doing what they're doing, entertaining all of us every week, having guys like me and JR on, and a lot of the guests that we've been talking about, if they can get that worked out. There's some really great shows coming up. So just go over there. It's $5.
Oh yeah, we love talking to guys like you guys. You know, y'all tell us about, you know, like we were saying earlier, there was an older crew, and then y'all guys are kind of in the middle there, and you know, y'all are just almost finishing up in y'all's career now, and you know, y'all got a lot of really cool stories, and you know, we don't want anybody to forget about you guys. Y'all put a lot of time and effort into this, into the wrestling, and y'all gave a lot of your heart, soul, and your body to this, and we want to show you appreciation and give you your flowers while you guys are still around. And like I said, you know, even after you guys retire from the ring, there's still room for you guys to announce. Maybe, you know, get back in there, maybe do some refereeing or something, and or even like, you know, come on the podcast and talk about, you know, and teach these new guys what they're lacking right now, because you know, somebody taught you guys, and y'all still have these lessons to teach. So we appreciate you.
It's hard to teach the lessons when they don't want to learn them, brother.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
That's actually true.
that's why, you know, that's why we suggest everybody that's all these new guys to listen to these older guys that have been in the business. They can teach you a lot. You know, even if you don't like appreciate it right now. Like I always say, listen now and hear me later.
Right.
Yeah, and a good example of that is like Cody sitting over there butt hurt because we put him through a windshield, but that's a lesson he needed to learn.
Yeah, he had to learn that lesson.
And I think he learned it.
Yeah, he knows exactly what a windshield feels like on his back.
The head.
On your head, I guess. Y'all was. I thought y'all just put his back through the damn windshield. Y'all put his head through the. That's pretty brutal, dude. Yeah.
Well, you know, he's getting.
I didn't feel
business,
a thing.
So,
I watched it happen.
We had to handle it.
Yeah, you had to handle it. They had to handle you, Cody. You was getting out of control.
And they took your belt too.
We took our belt back. Is what we did.
But I won fair and square. But
yeah,
they even had a cameraman with them. He filmed everything.
Filmed it all. Filmed every bit of it. Another cartel groupie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume that's why when we had that big tag match at the Bash, you know, I was supposed to handle Zodiac, but you went and was giving Double D a reach around and took the belt sometimes to fit in with him instead of me. I guess you were up in your feelings or something. I don't know what was going on.
It could have been partially it. Absolutely.
Double D's been acting a little crazy lately. Ain't he? He's been doing some crazy shit.
He's acting. There's Diego calling back. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Party man.
Hey, did.
Y'all want to talk to you, Diego?
It's Cameron.
We'll catch him next time he calls. He'll call again.
He'll call again.
He'll call Harry again.
You're that thirsty, Diego? You got to call 4 or 5 times? Just ready to start guzzling, huh?
He called me last week.
Get on the horn. We'll fill
He
you
was
up.
on the podcast and he called me.
He does he does listen. I don't know if he's applying it, but he does listen. He does want to learn. He wants to. I think he has a passion for this. I think he wants.
Agree.
I think he wants to do it. You know.
You have to have a passion.
Here he is. Let's talk to him for a second. Diego, Cameron, how you doing? Oh, sure.
I wanted to say real quick, Sean, it's good to see you back, my brother. I was worried about you last time, but good to see you back, man. And
who are we talking to today? Who are we talking to today?
Party man, Cam.
Oh, party man, Cam. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing was, I actually came up with me, Omega, and Adrian actually came up with that EWA because the Kai Maleko thing. I mean, it was good, but it felt like a ripoff. You know, kind of felt.
So you
off.
changed your name again?
Yeah, because I wanted to be me.
Yeah.
Like explain what Cameron does. He does impersonating. He likes to party a lot.
I know. I've been telling you that from the freaking first start I met you. Like, just do the damn dancing.
I can tell you like to do impersonating because when I whipped your ass the other night, you were impersonating a wrestler pretty good.
I got you, JR. Thank you, JR, for that ass whipping, first of all.
So you're going to go back to the dancing and stuff? You're going to go dancing?
Yep. Time to go back to what I do best.
Hell yeah, I've been telling you that. Go back to do what you do best.
And then while I'm doing that, I heard you guys talking about how some people don't want to learn, and I for one, I fully respect that because actually in the first week of June, me and my girlfriend we're moving to Knoxville, Tennessee, because I actually signed up with Kane's Wrestling Academy, so I'm going to be doing more training down there too.
Okay, Dr. Tom, you learn a lot down
awesome,
there.
man.
A whole lot.
Awesome.
Another guy can't put over enough. Had some great matches with him at Wildcat. He came in for the whole weekend.
Who is it now? Tell us about him.
Dr. Tom Pritchard.
Okay.
Man, just phenomenal. Just so much knowledge. Another guy that was great to be around, be in the ring with.
And he's down in Tennessee now?
He is. Him and Glenn Jacobs have the school down there that's just pumping guys out, like guys and girls that are just also taking the indie scene by storm. So.
Hell yeah.
And it's weird how I was just like I want to put all this entertainment to the side, but just focus on wrestling. But I didn't see that hey, I just need to put this into this and see what I come up with, and then we came up with Party Man Cam.
You've practiced those moves forever, man. All that dancing stuff. You just have to put the wrestling and the dancing together. I think you'll be great with that.
Yeah, and JR won a little rematch with you getting that strap out on me.
And whenever you're ready, brother.
Yeah, he loves to beat up new guys.
Old guys, new guys.
I was going to say, new guys, old guys, old women.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
No dogs.
Don't matter to me.
And Cody, great match at EWA too, man. I can't forget about you.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
But I want to thank you, Nice Candy Podcast, JR and Cody, for always being there for me. Sean, make sure you keep on trucking, man, and keep pushing.
Thanks, bro.
And to Andrew, I'm sorry what you're going through. I understand what you're going through. Just always get in contact with me, brother. I'm always there for you. But I thank you. I thank all you guys for being there for me.
We appreciate you, Cam. We're gonna let you go, okay?
All right, you guys go and do your thing.
All right, buddy.
Have a good night, man.
I didn't know he changed his name again.
I don't even know what his name will be tomorrow.
I know, right? He'll change his name again, but I think he wants it bad.
He
think
does.
If he can just put all that energy into actually going into the ring and freaking practicing his craft of wrestling, I think that he'll be all right. I think maybe.
Yeah, he just got to stick with it.
Stick with it, and just stop worrying so much about your gimmick and just worry about learning what you're supposed to do in that ring. I think, and be safe and not hurt anybody. That's what we all want to do is be safe working with everybody else and not hurt anybody, and just pay attention to the older guys, what they're saying and what they're teaching you, and just get out there and do your thing.
He for sure has a passion. Again, like some of the other guys we were talking about earlier. Marty, man, that guy's just super passionate. You know, every time we talk, he's always working on something, working on his body, working on himself, getting his name out there. Omega the same way, Carson the same way. Those guys are just out there.
Those
traveling.
guys are putting in the time and effort. You can see they're out. They're in the gym lifting, and they're in there they're out there doing it, putting their name out there.
And then their name to add to the list, Evil Nate Hughes.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
Nate's on a different level,
Yeah.
ain't he?
I've had some matches with Nate when he first started, and you knew then that he had it, that he had it like immediately. You knew that he had it.
So the House of Black is coming out, and they have the trio belts as I was talking about earlier.
This is your
Snaps and Straps made these trio belts.
Okay.
That's cool, man.
If you guys are watching AEW out there, the Snaps and Straps have made these trio titles, and he said he actually made some for Tony Khan personally. Yeah.
For all you young people watching, you probably think this trio championship is something new. It's not. back in the late 70s and 80s, Junkyard Dog was part of a 6-man tag team championship.
Yep.
Dusty and the Road Warriors. had
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's not a new
Yeah, I've
concept.
always liked the trios thing. I've always loved that. I was always loving. I'm glad they brought that back.
The Freebird rule.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised WWE doesn't have it right now.
Give it time.
You
Yeah.
think? You
Yeah.
think?
Well, they're too busy putting out new heavyweight titles.
Yeah, yeah. What do y'all think about that?
And
It
I
is what it is,
don't
man.
Yeah.
understand it, but
Yeah.
but hey, they just sold for 9.5 billion. So
Yeah. What do y'all think about
Gotta spend that money on something.
what do y'all think about the big leagues, big league wrestling here?
man, there's a lot of guys that I've gotten to know that have been there, that are there, and I'm all about all of us making money. Like that's, and if they're paying those guys what I've heard some of the contracts are for even the lower card guys, then God bless them.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
So I can't say enough that I'm so happy when guys are getting paid and getting on TV every week, and a lot of the guys and girls that we know and have wrestled with are getting shots at AEW and getting their names out there. Yeah, and WOW. And,
Yeah.
And all these companies that are just, like the fair tours about to start for USWF. It seems like every year off of that, somebody gets noticed to go somewhere else, and then EAW is doing some big things. New South, the Tate twins were the New South tag team champions. Yep. They got noticed, and now got their tryouts, and it just
New South is just bringing in everybody.
Signed for Ring,
They got
Ring of
Nick.
Honor.
They got what? Nick Atlas coming in.
Aldis.
Nick Aldis coming in
yeah.
next week. Next week, I had Moose and they had Jay Lethal. They have
Brian Jr.
right now. Laura Crew is their champion. They just have a hell of a show down there. You guys are not getting down to Lawrenceburg to watch the New South Wrestling. You guys are missing out. Y'all need to get down there and support New South Wrestling, because if y'all don't fill up that arena down there, they may not be able to stay around. So we got to pay the bills, guys. Y'all got to support. Y'all can't just go out there and watch wrestling. Y'all need to support and
Absolutely.
go in and buy a T-shirt from these guys. Go down there and buy a ticket. Go down there and buy some stuff at the concession stands. Give back to local wrestling, because these guys are out there breaking their backs for you guys.
And every bit counts.
Every little bit.
Every little bit counts.
For sure.
So in EWA down there in Frankfurt, they impressed me. The first show just impressed me. Both of you guys were y'all both on that show?
We were,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, both on that show. And
He was
you.
there.
Yeah, I know he was.
Supposedly was
He was the Easter Bunny.
Wasn't supposed to be there, but yeah, you surprised the Marcus. You surprised Marcus by being the Easter Bunny.
Gonna get it either way.
Yeah,
Marcus Johnson's another one of those young guys. Had
Oh,
some
God,
great
he's got
matches
it.
with. and
Tremendous worker.
Yeah.
man, I seen him in Zodiac in Paris like the first time I seen Marcus, and he impressed me so much. That was like that year. It was probably one of my favorite matches of the whole year.
That was last year.
Yeah, last year. That was one of my favorite matches.
They were just slugging.
Zodiac's so nice, man. I first met him. He fucking gave me a T-shirt. He's like, "Here, give a T-shirt." I was like, "Awesome, man."
And he also did the meditate, elevate, dominate.
Yeah, he did the whole.
This is a Zodiac, and I'm telling you now, meditate, elevate, and dominate. Do it with the Nice Guy Indie podcast.
I like
Hell
it.
yeah.
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 Yeah,
He did that
I
for
love
us.
Zodi for sure.
Zodi's awesome, man. He's an awesome guy.
Always
He's
has been.
he's been out there he puts in reps all the time. He's everywhere. He's always reinventing his character, the same character, but he's
was
always
our
got.
first Nice Guy Indie podcast champion.
Awesome.
Had before he lost it was 25,
26.
26. I tried to eat that last night.
Yeah.
26 title defenses.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Among many different companies.
And this is the best
Adrian's the champion right now.
Yeah, Adrian's got our belt right now. He's a nice guy in the
Adrian
podcast.
Alexander, good God, he's done us proud, and
He's been racking up some wins too. Like
Yes.
he hasn't lost that belt. He loves having that belt. He like that's just his pride and joy, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He came in and first seen that belt. He's like, I want that belt. I want that belt because that's the belt on the left here, on the right here is the Nice Guy Andy podcast. That's the first belt. That's the Monster Head belt, and I thought that was good for Zodiac because this is called the Monster Head belt.
Yeah, I agree.
And so when Zodiac lost it, Adrian took it, and I was like, hey, I want to switch that belt out with the blue one because he wanted the blue one anyway. So it's like the red one. It's like the red one, but it's blue. Got a blue.
Very
And
cool.
he loves it. He loves that belt.
Calls it Bluey.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you know, EWA, New South, NWF still running some
Oh,
great
yeah, those guys
shows
are
after
awesome up
all
there.
these years. Lots of great talent up there.
Oh, definitely.
TCW
TCW down
TCW,
Monticello.
Monticello.
DCW. Brandon Wilson down there.
Yeah, Brandon T. Wilson.
And what is the one in Tennessee?
RWF.
RWF. I haven't heard of them.
Rock and Roll Wrestling Federation.
Okay.
Tennessee.
They're doing some good things.
There's Desire Pro Wrestling's cool.
Yeah, Desires.
Supreme and
Oh man, yeah. Eric Draven's always been great to me, and runs been around a long time. Supreme Wrestling's been around a long time.
Long time.
and then we got what is it? What's the one up in where you're from?
Oh, Future Great Wrestling.
Future
Their
Great
actually
Wrestling.
last show is next week, next Friday at
Is that,
their
what
arena.
is that for real?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause
Well,
I heard that they were
on the
saying that
arena,
somebody announced that, and then they said that they wasn't sure if they were going to do any more.
Man,
Yeah,
and I
well,
hate
they
to
got
hear
to
that.
find a new place to go.
Oh, okay. So they just need a new building.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, from that
Man,
play, okay.
That happens.
That's
That
probably
actually
smart.
happens a lot.
I think Allied Pro Wrestling said that they're not going to be doing anything from the Corbin Civic Center anymore.
No.
Yeah, that
That's a
happens.
great place to watch a.
It is.
Yeah.
Man, these buildings, it's kind of like what happened with KPW at the, I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about, but, I'm 43, so who gives a shit?
Yeah.
That company's defunct. Let it all in, brother.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, Bobby, we love Bobby.
Oh, we
Doss.
love Bobby Doss.
He always take great. KPW was still, it got me back in the business. I was done, and when
Yeah.
Bobby called me and said, "Hey, I'm gonna start up KPW. I would love to have you, Frankfurt," and I was like, I guess I'm renewing now.
Yeah, we love those guys. He actually gave me the jersey that we have on the
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Wall over
Oh, I
there.
did see one of those. Yeah.
Bobby's jersey.
So it happened at the American Legion up there. Sometimes these buildings I don't know what's going on with Future Great, so I don't want to compare it all. I'm just saying what happens
Right.
a lot is you start to do good things for these buildings, get people in there, sold out shows,
Right.
and then they come to you and say, well, you know what, you sold out 4 months in a row, 4 weeks in a row, whatever it may be. We need to raise your rent by $400 or $500.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's already, like we were talking earlier, it's already hard enough to when you have your wrestler payroll, your building, your light, and like you were talking about all the stuff you have here, man.
Oh, yeah.
The investment you have in equipment, and so it happens a lot, and sometimes you have to look at it and go, man, is it really worth staying here? Do we need to find a new place?
Yeah, just like New South Wrestling was
Yeah.
doing at the Ice Center,
the
man.
Ice
They
Center,
were
yeah.
packing that place out, and that was a great show. That's a great place to do a wrestling, like especially here in Lexington. And then New South was going over there, and then like they raised the rent on them, and they couldn't do it there no more. So he had to go down to Lawrenceburg, and
That they did that Ice Center did the same thing to Chucky
Yeah.
and Al and them
Yeah.
when they had and
KCW.
KCW, thank you.
yeah.
was
I
about
love
to say,
KCW. That's
me
my
too.
favorite
Oh,
shit.
dude, I loved working for those guys.
Oh, yeah.
I want
It was
a KCW T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like I'm dying to have one.
Hey, Chucky, if you're still listening, or Al, or Bear, any of you all listening, we need to get Nice Guy Andy a KCW T-shirt.
I'm just gonna make one myself. I think.
Hey, watch out because they'll sue you.
Yeah,
They're all
they
like
probably would sue me.
So, but the same thing happened to them.
Yeah, I
Great
remember
shows over there.
they had a couple really good shows at the Ice Center and packed it out, and then they had to end up moving over to the Armory down there.
Yeah.
And then the Armory, I think, eventually let
the
them
same
go.
thing.
Yeah,
It's hard to find a building these days, especially a good one. They had a good one right up the street here.
Yeah.
UWA used to run, and they tore the hotel down.
Tore it down. Yeah,
man, Lexington needs a place like to do some local wrestling shows. You know, and they built that whole thing downtown, and they should they have that whole space down there at the Rupp Arena. They should give like one little space to like local people to let them rent it out.
I totally
cheap.
agree. Totally agree.
Let them cheap. Hey. Let them cheap. Give them cheap rent, and let all the wrestling organizations from around all come to Lexington like once a month or something, and then let everybody else like put on concerts and stuff like that too. But you know, we do need something. We do need something like that here in Lexington. But I mean, that place down there, the Civic Center down there at Rupp Arena, that's big enough. They make enough money that they could. And that place is huge enough that they can just give you like a little spot. There's a little spot somewhere.
I don't know what the rates would be, but I think the Manchester Music Hall would be a great venue for a wrestling show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've been talking about that for years and years.
Yeah.
Roger Ruffin, he does Bogarts up in Cincinnati. They're similar
sells
size.
out constantly.
When Larry and them were doing the Bar Brawl down there in Cynthiana, that was awesome.
That was really good. I love that little building. That's another company, Next Gen. You know, Max and Larry and them are always doing big things down there, and you know now they're doing real big things. You know, Larry's retirement tour coming up. So
Generation Next.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys they always put on good shows. Those guys always put on good shows. And I was so surprised that EWA put on such a good show, a couple of good shows already.
Well, the behind the scenes of EWA, they work so hard. You know, it's a family oriented company.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in there is either legitimately family, that's Adrian's dad over there at the concession stand.
Yeah.
Like and Adrian put his heart and his soul, and he's building that place up, and he's into, you know, he's another one of those guys that has so much passion for the business, along with all the bookings he has. You know, he's out there, like you said. Your belt out there. And
he's out there wrestling everywhere. He's wrestling down at New South like all the time. He's going to all these other places. I see him everywhere. And that building down there in Frankfurt, that's a great building for wrestling, ain't it?
Well, there's been wrestling in there for 30 plus years off and on. That's actually the very first building that I saw independent wrestling was the Thornhill Education Center.
Really? I love that building.
There's a picture of me sitting right beside my grandfather, front row, and then that's where I first saw Tommy Gunn when he was Luscious the Pink Pussycat. Bobby Blade will have a lot of good stories about the Thornhill Education
Center. Yeah, he was
Center.
telling us about it.
Yeah. There was a guy named Cecil Voiles. He was one of the Jimmy Lamb. When you can get Jimmy Lamb on the podcast.
Yeah, we have to get Jimmy on.
Him and his brother David were big.
Jimmy's still wrestling, ain't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was just at the show in Indiana.
Yeah, I seen him like I thought he had retired, and like I seen him there putting down his boots. I was like, damn, Jimmy's still wrestling.
No.
Jimmy Lamb ain't
he was the
Jimmy's
one
never
that
gonna retire.
At the Jim Chadwick.
Oh, I know.
The ring messed
he
up.
fixed the
He was
ring.
the one that fixed the ring.
Yeah, I remember. I know who Jimmy is. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy.
I didn't know he was still wrestling though. I had no idea that he was still wrestling. And then I seen him recently. He was in the back seat putting on his shoes. I was like, wow, I didn't know he was still wrestling.
Yeah, Jimmy is never gonna quit wrestling. They're gonna. The only thing that's ever gonna keep Jimmy out of the ring is if his body finally gives totally out.
Yep. How old is he?
He's up there.
113.
113 years old. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
But he was 113 when I first met him.
Yeah, he's been 113 for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's got to be 123 right now.
Oh yeah, been doing it a long time.
That's awesome, man. Fuck it, man. If you keep doing it, keep doing it. If you love it that much, keep doing it. Do it to your fucking 133. You know, whatever. You know, if you guys want to keep doing it, doing it. That's why I always say, man, just stay involved with it because, like, you know, nobody would think that I fucking start a wrestling podcast at fucking 48 years old, but that's what we did.
There's one thing about it, once you're in, it's real hard to get out. That's
Very hard
nobody, like, man, I couldn't quit this podcast right now if I wanted to. Like, I'm like, guys, I don't know if we're going to, oh, no, we'll keep on doing it, you know. And I'm like, I can't be there tomorrow. Well, we'll just give us the keys. We'll do it.
Yeah. We'll do it, right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. How many shows I've been on since I announced my retirement? I go out there and have a pretty good match, and everybody's like, "You sure you're going to retire?"
Exactly. And then you're second guessing yourself, like, yeah, but I don't know. I might keep on going.
this retirement tour wasn't supposed to be a tour. It was supposed to be a retirement match. In
Yeah.
January was Zodiac,
Yeah.
and then it got turned. Well, maybe I'll do this show. Well, now it's a whole tour till
Yeah,
December.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with all the fair shows,
Yeah.
with USWF and UCW, another company we haven't talked about a whole lot, man.
Terry England, Showdown, brother.
Yeah. Yes,
Ultimate
Terry England.
Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. Terry's been around a long time, has done a lot of big things. Another one we need to send a shout out to is Gary Damron over in West Virginia. Marty's been going to, a lot of the guys go over there.
Is that big time wrestling?
No. Gary is, 43 years old and 5 concussions later.
Yeah, I know, right?
But Gary he's always been good to the guys. He's one of those promoters that is so good to the wrestlers that everybody wants to come back, whether it's a guy like me or Marty or all the way up to Matt Hardy or Kevin Nash.
Is that Amish Hustler?
Huh?
Gary, is that Amish Hustler?
No. Gary is he mostly stays behind the scenes, but he's recently started managing, which is something he always wanted to do. With DD Trash is the name of the tag team that Gary is managing right now, and they're doing some big things. So
What's the promotion they got down there?
Hold on.
You don't know yet?
Yeah.
I'm worse about that. That's why I got Johnny. Johnny remembers everything for me.
Yeah.
But Johnny ain't going to get old soon. So we got to get a new intern, Johnny.
Yeah.
And then Sean knows everything.
I know a
So.
lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a ASW.
ASW.
Hey,
Chance Prophet has a over in Virginia too, don't he?
Yes. Chance, man, I can't give any.
We love that guy. That
Yeah,
guy's
me too.
so awesome.
And he's working for Gary at the Bash and Beckley
Yeah.
coming up. They have a big show over there coming up. So, but yeah, I can't say enough good things about
I
Chance.
think it's going to be one of Kyle Maggart's shows coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, Chance, Chance and Zodiac are tagging up against Cal Maggard and a mystery partner.
Yeah,
I don't know who the mystery partner is going
That's
to
going to
be.
be
And,
this
and I know he's
weekend,
in and out of
Yeah.
Lawrenceburg a lot.
That's this weekend.
That's this weekend. Yeah, we're going to be down there, guys. We're going to be down to Hazard at the Appalachian Pro Wrestling.
Kirkpatrick said the passion for the business is what keeps me doing it.
Yeah.
That's what Kirkpatrick says.
That's what keeps us all doing
That
it.
hair keeps you alive, is what I think.
The best mullet in the business.
The best mullet in the business.
Mullet, he's
I always thought he should. I always told him that he should lean into the Joe Dirt kind of thing. He could call himself Kurt Dirt. I was like, you can just change your gimmick, man, to Kurt Dirt, and
Yeah,
just
that-
lean into the Joe Dirt
Kurt
whole
Dirt.
thing.
That could work.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sure.
He could even start talking about how he's got this family outside and that all of the women out there could meet him around town.
That's such a
Sunday.
funny movie. That Joe Dirt's such a funny
Oh my
movie.
Lord, so good.
Oh man, I loved him and
Things that happen for me. I'm Joe Dirt.
Chris Farley was in that Black Sheep. That fucking movie was
Oh,
funny
I
as
love
hell.
Black Sheep. I'm gonna go home and watch it now.
Tommy Boy and was it Tommy Boy too? Wasn't it?
Tommy
Yeah,
Boy.
Tommy Boy and
I like
Black
Tommy
Sheep. Those
Boy better.
two movies are about the same movie, but they're funny as hell.
Oh man, we were actually watching clips from Tommy Boy at work the other day. The scene where they're in the office with the guy who has like built the model cars. And just, yeah.
Yes, oh my
So,
god,
he.
man! I wish Chris Farley would have never died, man.
Oh
me
man, absolutely. They crashed those cars together, kind of like JR put my head through that windshield.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
a pretty good analogy. You're right.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's a terrible analogy.
So how long ago was that?
About 2 years.
Oh, 2 years ago. This was recent.
So
Yeah.
you were tag team
Yeah.
champions in
Maybe-
one company and another
No,
one.
it's been longer. That was before the
Oh,
pandemic.
it was. No, he's right.
it was
Yeah,
pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
COVID. Yeah, COVID kind of messed up everything for,
Yeah.
So,
especially the wrestling business. Now,
So,
It
a
really
lot of
did.
people don't realize how much COVID affected the live wrestling business. You all like it's
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
still struggling to get back.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it shut
Oh,
everything down. It really
Yeah.
shut everything
Yeah.
down. Like some companies never did come back from
No, there's a lot of good companies.
it. Yeah,
Still,
wasn't
so.
that PTW? Didn't they go
Yeah.
down during?
prime time
Yeah.
wrestling.
They went down and became, I guess
Yeah,
switched over.
Generation
Getting
X.
it.
WCCW finally folded.
Yeah,
completely.
folded during the
Yeah.
pandemic. And
Yeah,
And now it's building is owned by new South owner Anthony Press.
oh yeah,
That's right.
yeah. He's down there putting in shows down there. Those guys, that down there is they're having great shows down there. They're bringing in.
And they're good friends of ours.
Yeah, so New South is, man, Anthony, I've known him a long time.
Scott
Storm, yes, sir.
Such a good guy, man. Such a good guy. Loves his freaking kids so much. He loves his kids more than anything in this world. Loves wrestling and his kids more than anything in this world. He's such a great guy, man. Shout out to Anthony Presley.
Yeah.
He's giving you hell of shows down there. He's bringing in the good guys down there. We got to get down there. Everybody got to get down there to Lawrenceburg.
Brian Pillman Jr.
If you haven't been to Lawrenceburg to watch the New South Wrestling, you ain't a wrestling fan. You got to get down there.
I haven't been down there. Brother can't get a booking. What's up, Presley? Come on, man.
You got to go down there and watch the show, and then a book.
You're such a prick, JR.
Yeah. That's how Carson got on there. He just showed up one day down there and didn't.
Just show up one day.
I actually know. There's a little bit more behind that. Carson did bad things to get that booking. So.
Yeah.
But his business is his business, and that's okay.
Just show up with your strap, and he might book you. Because then he'll be like, I don't know, you might attack me with that, so I'll put you some match.
Yeah.
Just book my own match and walk on in.
Yeah, just walk on in there and freaking start smacking people.
What they gonna do? You got a strap to your hand, they gonna try to send something to take you.
Exactly. I'm surprised Scott Diamond ain't called us tonight.
Scott's a busy man.
You doing, Scott?
What you doing, Scott?
He's Jared Tolled up somewhere, I guarantee.
Yeah, smoking his lunch. Shout out Scott Diamond. If you're out there, holler at us.
Scott
Diamond's our forever, baby.
You in Austin, glued to the screen right now.
Yeah.
Guarantee it, because Austin Diamond's a big fan.
Austin Diamond won't come on unless we're talking about him.
Yeah,
Time he comes in, he gets mad like I can't.
He was mad at me forever because I had Bobby Blade in here and Scott, and those guys we didn't even get to talk. Those guys were talking so much that we didn't get to talk, and like he had to sit over there where Johnny was because we were all sitting in here, and he's like, you don't even give me a microphone. I was like, come on, man, come on. It's about the other guys, right now.
You got to earn a seat at the table, young man.
Yeah. He's a hell of a fucking announcer, man. Down there at KEPW, when I first met him, he is top notch announcing.
Yeah,
like he knows what he's doing on that microphone. Like you got to give it to him. I haven't got to watch him wrestle yet, but I definitely hear him on that mic, and he's so good on that mic.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Scott showed him how to work the stick real good.
Yeah,
yeah. I see what you did there. I just clicked. I see what you did there. Oh my gosh. I remember so many companies. I remember when I worked security for about a year or so between 2011 and 2012 in Georgetown. I had to work with Crazy Tommy. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so many crazy times.
So is there anybody that was in the business like that you guys like just don't know where they're at? Like what happened to that guy?
Speak of the devil.
Such a good. Scott Diamond.
Yep.
Speak of the devil.
Talk about the cow that walks the shit.
What's up, Mr. Diamond?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I just came in the house. Almost forgot you guys were on tonight.
Oh man, you can't do that.
Yeah,
we got two of your guys in here.
Yeah, we've been reminiscing all night about the time we whooped Cody's ass and put him in that car windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, great times, man. I'll tell you, I've had a lot of great times with both of those guys. I'm telling you.
Not the same kind of great. You've been hooking on the corner all day again, haven't you?
Hey, I got a pocket full of quarters.
Somebody overpaid you.
So yeah,
hell yeah.
Overpaid.
Hey, when you have to do it more than once, man, I'm getting 25 cents or I'm stopping off the first one.
That's those Cincinnati rates.
Yeah, Cody Rowe, he knows, man. I'm the long gone daddy from Cincinnati, from way back.
That's right.
I can tell you every strip club that's in Newport, Covington, Cincinnati, you name them, I've been in them.
Oh, wow.
You do not doubt that at all.
Oh, God, how's it going, everybody?
Doing good.
Great,
Scotty.
Yeah, great.
We're glad to hear from you. It's been a while since we've heard from you on the podcast.
Yeah, I've been really tied up. I don't want to get too sappy, with these two cats on there, but my mother's been sick. She's been in and out of the hospital. And so Austin and I just got back from being up there. They put a pacemaker in yesterday. So, or maybe the day before now. When you spend so many days in the hospital, it all runs together. But thankfully, it wasn't me this time. And again, thankfully, she got the pacemaker and doing really well. And so I got to come home tonight.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome.
Glad to hear your mom's doing well, and it sucks it's not you.
I know, man, because it's usually me. Or as JR said earlier, sometimes it's Cody because we're putting him through windshield.
Yeah. It happens
But
that way.
I'll tell you, man, we could sit here all night and talk stories about Cody Rowe, JR Rock, and myself because, man, anything in wrestling, we've done it. Anybody that's in wrestling, we've beat them up.
That's right.
That's for sure.
Yeah, even each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even each other, that's right. Hey, look, I think I take the ego trip better than anybody out there. And the one,
Yeah.
lots of practice, that's right.
Yeah.
And once you get strapped once or twice by JR Rock, you learn to become his friend and not his enemy.
Yeah. So, Scott, we're going through a tunnel. We're living. What'd you say?
Breaking up.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, this guy, you can tell he's been on the road with me because he does the same thing that I do. I lost you. Hey, look, like I said, man, I could sit here all night and say about these guys. Cody Mathews, he was the first guy I took the idea of the Diamond Cartel to. He says, man, sounds great. Let's go do it. Very first night we go out as Diamond Cartel. We come home tag team champions, and we were never beaten for this championship.
Never.
Even though we had to kick the shit out of our partner and throw him out.
But me and you were never beat.
Yeah, Cody and I were never beat. And JR Rock, you guys heard me brag on him before. This guy's got the best cardio in the business. I mean, we're talking about a guy, it was a 5-on-5 situation in a cage. JR and I were the veterans on the heel side. And this cat, JR Rock, won't even let him get into the cage. I said, what do you want to do, JR? He said, this. Runs over as they're opening the door and starts kicking the shit out of him. I had to run over and say, JR, you got to let him get in the cage, brother.
Somehow.
No, I mean,
Oh, Lord.
and that's why JR's smart, and you get your ass kicked.
That's right.
That's right. There, bro.
You wanted to let them in so they could beat you up. I was going to cut them off at the door so they didn't have a chance.
That's right. They didn't have a chance. We just got screwed by the promoter. After we beat his ass, he cried wolf.
That's how it usually goes. Now, we were discussing this earlier, and Cody was talking about how he was a member of the original cartel, and I had to bring it to his attention how I was the upgrade from him in the original version. Can you go ahead and confirm that for me?
You know what? I have to confirm that. Cody is great. I'm not knocking him at all. But the tag team partner Cody had that first night, I mean, I'll tell you what, guys. He wasn't worth dribble on the end of your Peter, let me tell you.
But do we really want to talk about members of the cartel and dribbling?
Oh, don't do that, man. Don't do that. I know where you're going. I know. You always get me on this one, Cody Rowe. Look, you know how Felony Fox was. I was just trying to appease a woman because once you piss them off, you never hear the end of it. And it was the worst thing I ever did.
Now, I have to disagree with that.
Yeah.
What was the worst thing I did?
The worst thing you ever did was Cartel Forever in Frankfurt about a year and a half ago. He's a legacy member, I believe.
Oh, God. When I gave a rub to that, yeah, he said that too, and I said, you know what? You were never in the cartel because you were never good enough to be in the cartel. Just because he paid $20 for that shirt. Which, as a matter of fact, all these years, the only person I ever had to pay for a shirt, JR Rock. He swindled me. He swindled me.
Swindled you.
Here's how this story went. I had some new JR Rock shirts, right? So Scott's wife wanted one. I said, sure, you can have a shirt. Here you go. And I walked around back and said, Scott, you owe me $20 for a shirt.
That's exactly how it went. That's exactly how it went.
Man, you just totally got Jimmy Valianted by JR Rock. I love everything.
I did. Man, I did. Jimmy Valiant, JR Rock, and I'll tell you another one. Pondo's another one that got me like that. This Mark came up over there at Big B one night when I was commentating. And you know how it goes, man. You guys heard it a million times. He had the next idea that was going to be the next big thing. And so I only got one break. I was the only broadcaster that day. And so when we go to the one intermission, man, I'm running for the pisser. Pondo says, "Hey, have you met my good friend Scott Diamond here?" And man, I'll tell you what, I had to tell the guy, "Look, I got to piss. I got to run." Dude started following me to the bathroom. So J.R. Rock, Pondo, and Jimmy Valiant, they could sell ice to Eskimos, man, let me tell you.
Well, you probably made a lot of money then if you were in the bathroom with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, as Austin says, $20 is $20, right?
Filled that pocket full of quarters again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a pocket full of quarters.
And that guy overpaid too.
It's that same roll of quarters that I hit Bobby with that night. Pow, right in the kisser.
Scott, we appreciate you. We appreciate you calling in. We're running out of time here, so we're gonna have to let you go. And just so me and JR can talk again, maybe. And
Andy, don't let them fool you, man. I may do a 20-minute promo, but these guys both are on the stick. They're good on the stick. Let me tell you.
They've been great tonight. They've been telling us lots of really cool stories tonight.
Oh yeah, you have to go back and listen because we told all about you and the.
Yeah. Oh God!
They gave all your secrets away. You got to go back and.
Hey, they didn't say nothing about no strippers, did they?
Oh, that's all.
You promised you wouldn't bring that up.
Talked about for the first hour.
You promised you wouldn't bring that up. Hey, did y'all talk about how I was special guest referee one night, and this cat that Cody was in the ring with wanted to take liberties, and so. You know, being the guy that Cody is, he's like, you know, we don't do this in front of the people. He slid out and was going to the locker room. And I was like, where's security? And again, we're talking Felony Fox. We don't have any security. Well, okay, it's on you guys. And so brother slides out of the ring and tries to Pearl Harbor Cody. And man, I'm telling you, he must have had eyes in the back of his head. Because just as soon as dude got there and was getting ready to Pearl Harbor Cody hit him so many times before he knew what was happening. He's bleeding out his ear, his nose, his mouth. And I was like, we don't need a referee for this.
That was great times. Great times.
Yeah, good times. I remember that.
Yeah.
Didn't you have an issue?
You remember that, JR?
A referee at WCW one night at WCCW had some crazy ass referee doing something silly like that too.
Yeah. One of the worst beats I ever seen though is when that referee. We were talking about Vic earlier. We were over in Ohio and. A referee tried to tell Vic what to do in the ring and tell him that the stuff he was doing was not over at all. And so Vic commenced to beating the living bejesus.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, back in the day, man, you know, we told you when Bobby Blade and I was in there, even when Fair and Donnie Green was in there. Back in the day, man, I'm telling you, it wasn't nothing for a veteran. If a greenhorn or a ref or somebody screwed something up, it wasn't above a veteran just to slap the shit out of them. I mean, I've seen it several times.
We were talking about that earlier, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I still do that.
I mean, doggone.
JR says he still does that.
Yeah, he does. Look, I got one on JR Rock, too. So I'm not going to say where it was at, but so we're doing a gig at this place, and I was running it, and JR knew. And so the guy wanted to shorten JR's music, but he hadn't talked to me, and he hadn't talked to JR. And so when JR asked me, you know, I told him, no, I didn't say anything about shortening your music. Why would you do that? So JR tells the dude, you shorten my music, I'm beating your ass. And guess what? He didn't shorten his music at all.
he was the promoter's son.
He played it twice.
Yeah,
he was the promoter's son, too, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, man. We've had some fun down through the years. I'll tell you what. There's Wild Man Johnny Lee. What's up, Johnny?
What's up, Johnny?
What's up, brother?
Yeah.
Was he just coming back from the bathroom with that bottle of conditioner?
Yeah. The first hour he was sitting beside me. Then they switched. They switched. Him and Sean switched.
That's right, buddy.
Oh, Sean got the bathroom first. Is that it?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, watch it.
Hey, Scott, we're going to end the show here soon, so we're going to let you go. But thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thanks,
hey,
Scott.
look, man. You know, nothing but love for both of these guys. They're true gentlemen. And hey, look, when you look it up in the dictionary, pro wrestler, you're looking at a picture of these two guys right here.
Exactly.
I appreciate everything we've ever done in the ring to both you guys. Andy, thank you for taking my call. Kick ass like you always do. And I'll see you guys down the road.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
Did you see him catch his leg on? Ooh,
Yeah.
wow. Man, he hurt himself. He got hurt. Yeah, he got real hurt. Man, Omega got hurt. Looks like Kenny Omega. He had to mess that leg up.
Yeah,
Man, that stuff happens. I saw.
it happened.
But again, going back to Glensboro, saw a lot of stuff down there.
Oh
night.
no, I guess he's okay.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna keep going. Really good friend, Tommy Gunn, went to go over the top rope, and in Glensboro, those barricades were almost as bad as Mount Sterling. They were made out of steel pipe, and did a move similar to that. Caught his head right on one of those pipes and just out like a light.
Wow. Yeah.
So.
Tommy had an incident like that in Mount Sterling too.
On those barricades. That's
he went
right.
to do a leg lariat in the corner,
Yeah.
and the guy kind of ducked down the way a little bit, and he overshot him. And when he hit the post, he just flipped upside
Man,
down.
Omega.
Nose dive straight to the floor in the barricade. They'd take him on the stretcher.
How tough is Omega to get up from doing that, man?
Too much.
Oh, he did. Oh, he got him. He got
Talking
him.
about this wrestling stuff.
One,
Everybody knows that.
2. Oh.
What?
Well, he changed on him.
I knew this was coming.
Who's that Gary Hart looking like?
That's Don Callis.
He got that big. She got that big ass
Used
scar on
to
his
be
forehead
Jackal in
now.
WCW and WWE. And
Oh,
then
he turned on
ECW,
Omega.
He was Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah,
I
he's
knew
doing a
that
good
this was coming for
Gary
weeks.
Hart
He
impersonation.
really is.
Yeah.
He just turned on Omega.
I knew that this was coming for weeks because of how he's been acting.
I called it.
Yeah. Brian Danielson.
Yeah.
Oh, guys. Well, this is the time when we I let everybody have their little last words. Sean, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Cody, J.R. Rock, guys, it's been a pleasure. I've been a fan of you guys. I wouldn't say we're friends by any means, but we do.
Good, because we're not.
Okay, fair enough. But we are. I know that it's just a shake hands and a how you doing, guys. It's kind of a thing. It's always great the pleasure of it. This is the most I've ever heard you speak, J.R. Rock.
Most people don't like what comes out of my mouth when I speak, so they don't really want me to.
Fair. Well, you know what? Take that as it may. You're an actually pretty charming guy, but it kind of takes away from me. At least we didn't get into everybody calling you Gargamel.
Sean over
I'm
there.
earning some quarters too.
Earning some
He's trying to make some quarters too.
Fair enough.
You want to let Johnny
And
come
everybody
over?
else. Johnny, you want to come over and say something?
Does he have to sit in your lap again?
Yeah,
No,
he's up
he don't have to sit in my lap.
Well, he sits in his lap and he puts his hand up his ass.
Hey,
and
we don't
moves his-
talk about it.
That's more like someone else I know. But yes, I just want to say thank you, J.R. Rock, for coming here again. We definitely got to have you back, Side Steel.
No problem, anytime, bro.
Cody Mathews, we definitely got to have you back too. Because you
Absolutely,
got
man.
lots of stories to tell.
Anytime.
And I want to thank Andy, always a great host.
Yeah, thank you. Kiss my ass a little bit more.
Yeah, guess what?
Yeah.
You're going to have pictures of the belt sent soon because
Get
I
some
reminded
chapstick
our
to go with
sponsor. He's like, thanks for reminding me, brother. I was like, all right.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Johnny's always on the ball. Johnny
That's
lives. Johnny lives the podcast. Johnny
He really
podcast.
does.
Heck yeah.
Johnny Podcast.
Which one of you guys want to go first?
Go ahead, Cody.
Again, guys, thanks for having us.
Oh, yes, sir.
It's been great. It's been awesome catching up with you guys. Haven't seen you since I guess the Super Show.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys having me on and what you guys do to help promote everybody. It's for everybody to come out here and have a good time, from the young guys to the guys of our generation and the generation before us to come on here and tell stories, and we really appreciate it. And thank you to all the sponsors out there who make this possible for these guys to do it. And again, just want to remind everybody, go over to the Facebook page, give it some stars. It's $5, you all. Go on there so these guys can keep doing what they're doing. You said you had some stuff on Patreon that you needed to update, but I think
Mostly our stuff's on Facebook,
Facebook
and
and
YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure that there's probably either in some way that Andy or Sean or John or Hero will show up at your house and do bad things for money to keep the podcast going.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, for
so-
$200, we'll
yeah.
watch you have make love to your wife.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're hot
And then we'll
with-
give
with-
some
with,
advice
uh,
on what to
with-
do.
We'll
with
definitely give you
wrestling.
advice.
With wrestling playing in the background, that's the only thing.
Yeah, we have to have
But they
wrestling.
will
Of
come.
course.
They'll come to your house and watch wrestling with you for a small fee. So just to support this podcast. So thank you guys, and thanks everybody for listening.
All right, thank you, man. Go ahead, JR.
Thanks, guys, for having me down here again. I enjoyed it. Anytime you want me to come down and do the show, I'll be more than happy to. I'd like to give a shout-out to Steve Middleton. There's a wrestling documentary that came out on KET called Stages and Waves. If anybody gets a chance, just go to the KET website and look that up, and you can watch it. It's pretty good. That's about all I got, guys.
We'll get that guy come in, right?
Yeah, I'm going to message Steve and get him to come down and promote the documentary. He's done several documentaries about Kentucky life and things in Kentucky. For the
Oh
past
yeah, we're
10
all
to 12
about
years.
Kentucky. So
And you shared those on your page earlier too.
Yeah, I
correct?
shared those on my personal Facebook page and the JR Rock page. If you all want to check them out, there's links to the old documentary and the newest one.
send Johnny Lee those links so we can put it on the podcast.
That's right.
Sir.
So we can, we love everything wrestling. We love everything Kentucky. So guys, if you guys are out there in the Nice Guy Indie Podcast universe, check out our Facebook page. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is growing. We need all the support we can get, guys. We can get monetized on YouTube. We're already monetized on Facebook, but you guys got to go over to the Facebook. You got to like, share, and comment on our stuff. And send stars if you can. Tip us if we can. We guys, we don't take any of this money for personal use. We throw it all back at the podcast. So we got rent, we got internet charges, we got software charges we got to do. But we do this, guys, for the fans, and we don't make any money. I love to make the money. I love to do this full time, but as it's going, we just want to pay the bills at this point. So. Guys, go and support us, and because we support you guys. We try to tell you guys everything we know about the local wrestling scene, and we try to have your local wrestlers on, even the guys that are retired, the guys that are about to retire, the guys that are brand new in this business. The guys are even trying. Like, we bring in guys like Cameron sometimes, the guys that even want to come up and try. We're a big fan podcast, so we have on fans most of the time. Johnny Lee and Sean started out as fans. We all are fans and marks of wrestling, and I don't think that mark. It's not a bad word at all.
Not a bad word.
Not at all. So, guys, mark out if you want to, and go over to Royal X and check those guys out over on Facebook. Message them and they'll sign you up and tell them Nice Guy Indie Podcast sent you, and they will give you $5 in free play. I think that's it for me, guys. And
if you're not having fun,
if you're not having fun,
Great time. And what's y'all's belt sponsor again? Go get
Snaps
and Straps. Thank you, Cody. I
Shout
forgot
out
that.
to Luna B and
Johnny,
Jenny at home
get out
watching.
from front of the camera.
Yeah.
Snaps and Straps, guys. They made AEW belts.
You people help support this podcast. They can get more guests in. We can finance Cody Mathews' Ring Rat Corner on a weekly basis.
Absolutely.
All kinds of cool features.
Get his windshield fixed.
That's a lot. Yeah, fix my windshield. Luna, Uncle Cody loves you, even though your dad's a prick.
Oh, God. And if you're not having fun, you're not getting none.
Damn, Skippy.
Yeah.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast. Skullface Records Radio.
By the way, we're having Skullface Records Radio in tomorrow. Nick Himes and Hide the Riot will be in here tomorrow night, guys. Tune in.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast. Skullface Records Radio.
That ain't what your mama said.
ooh, yeah! He keeps popping off at the mouth. I'm gonna be his daddy.
But those were expensive shoes. You guys diamonds custom made.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's right.
This is the Zodiac, and I'm telling you now, meditate, elevate, and dominate. Do it with the Nice Guy Indie Podcast.
Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
Anyways, you guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast